justice in the name of our King. justice.
Alrighty. I think we're live. Hello. Am I live? Hello. What's up, everyone? Let's see here. As you notice, I'm alone. I think James is already in the chat, right? I thought I saw James in the chat a minute ago. Mic check. Yes. He is on the way home, but he may walk in late. I don't know. He's been out of town. So, I was going to go here and say he's fired and shit, but he's already in the chat. I was going to make up some elaborate story. Hello, everyone. Let's see who we got up in here. Damn, we're flying by. This chat is flying. Tim F. Fractured. Hello, Fractured. Road Pixie. Tom Bystander. K-Dubs. Lydia Quinn. Dust on the Throne. There he is. AJ Garcia. Maddie Benz. Mother of Dragon. Sheldon Sparrow. Stargarian Ninja. Proto Peach K-Dubs, Jimmy Page. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Jennifer, Mo Castillo. Thank you, Mo, by the way. Newest Patreon. Thank you to Mo Castillo. Appreciate it, Mo. Appreciate it. Means a lot. Let's see. Chantel. Shaw, YB Negative. Another new Patreon as well. Toasted. Hobnob. Rogue Pixie. Grandma Patrol 66 Bateman. What the hell? Let's see, Jenny K, Amanda Palmer, hello. Let's see, Boss Mode, Scarlet, Princess Scarlet, Andrea Snow, Raina Marie, hello there. Cameo, there's some people coming back we hadn't seen in a while. Hello, Cameo, Strike Boo, Emily Marshall, Miss West Seattle, TJ71, DJ Sean, Grandma, again, Maza Mati, hello. Ethan Cahill, Alyssa Banks, there's Marty, Zephilia, Mary Jade, Star Walker, KJ, let's see here, KT Got Fan, Brittany Staples, Monkey Mail Dog, there's Randy Suimatsu, Christian Oles, DB Collings, Gotlander, Misha, hello Misha, Sci-Fi News and Gaming Mike D. That reminded me of it just reminded me of the Beastie Boys for some reason. Probably because Mike D. Hoonjob, what's up, man? There's Proto Peach. Yeah, Peach reminded me to tell you guys, first off, before we get started. So hello, everyone. I'm sorry. I'll skip a million people if I keep going. But yeah, so Proto Peach and Mizuma. Let me pull this up because I want to make sure I get it right. Proto Peach. It reminded me on Patreon. We said this last week, but Proto Peach and Mizuma. I don't know if Mizuma's in here yet. But they're going to sponsor somebody to come to ProtoCon. So, really quickly, ProtoCon is our mini-con, our get-together this year. It's going to be August. The link is in the description of all videos of how you can get tickets. And it's going to be a get-together in August, so we'll talk Game of Thrones and all that good stuff. So, anyway, Mizuma and Proto Peach are going to sponsor somebody's ticket. Two people, two subscribers. If our predictions come true, James and I had predictions, and mine was the Night King will die. There will be no repeat. In other words, he's not going to be like banished again or whatever. That will happen as far as my prediction goes. And then James is all three Lannisters will die. So Cersei, Tyrion, and Jaime will die. And if those come true, they will buy somebody's ticket to ProtoCon. Anyway. It will be here, UK guy, here locally. So it's actually in Concord, which is fairly near where I live. But anyway, there's a map and everything on the page. It's in the description. There you go. Eventbrite is Jennifer's posting it now in the chat. There's the Eventbrite page there. Anyway, so we have a trailer. Finally, it's been almost 2 years, and we have our final Game of Thrones trailer. So, it's kind of sad. Let's see. Really quick, thank you, Potter White for subbing, Allah for subbing, Derek Blackfire for subbing, and thank you, Charisse Nall for subbing. Thank you so much. Tom Bystander, I see your super chat. But really quick, we got a trailer. I mean, we'll probably get another little short thing, one or two. Be careful, Raina Marie. Nightbot will get you 4 caps and emojis. Unfortunately, this is not Twitch yet. Anyway, Yeah, I think we'll get another one, and we'll pull it up here and watch it again in a minute, and talk about it and whatever. But it's just kind of sad, man. It's the last actual trailer. You know what I mean? We'll probably get another one, but they're not going to give away a lot of footage. I can tell you they already removed shit in this trailer. We'll talk about that some too. Hello, Herb Coswell. There's Herb. Let's see. Jenny K. I will be gutted if when Jamie dies. Yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good. What's up, Big E? There's Kelly Gantz. Emily Marshall, Paige Roberts. There's Ida. Niles, Jason T. 70K. Yeah, we did hit 70K. We're rolling pretty good. We're getting kind of creeping up about halfway to 71K. So 29K to go for the dream to be alive for the original goal. So I'm very cool. I'm very very excited about it, and I really appreciate it. It's been a long. This is going to be 4 years almost. So 29K to go about for the. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate everybody now. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it when I got 500. But I mean, for the long-term goal, the 100K goal, take this damn hat off and get that plaque and to show you guys. Almost 4 years. So anyway, let's pull this trailer up, and then I got all your questions on Patreon as well, and I will answer them from the chat as usual. Let me see if I can get this trailer up here and share the right screen. We'll watch it again really quick. If you guys are down, I mean, I know we've all seen it about 47 times. Let me see. Where is my share display? All right, so I'm going to switch it over to this screen. Let's see if I get on the right one. I may not, and if I don't, I apologize. I don't. It switches every time I change monitors. So hold on one second. Let me switch it over to the right one. No. See, you're seeing my. There. Wait a minute. What? I'm on the wrong thingy. There we go. Now I can change it. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so I got this trailer up here. Here we go. All right. So let's show it again, and then we can go over a couple things in it. I mean, I've already done the trailer breakdowns and all that stuff, and there's really not much more you can pull from it. But we can see that they've removed some stuff. So here we go. Let's watch this really quick. I see your super chats. So I'll grab those in a second. Here we go. And play. All right. So let me just, before we even start this. All right, right here. What is she? Is she just? I mean, we'll see this in a second, and we'll see where they probably remove some stuff. I think this just has to be whites, right? I mean, this has got to be whites. She can't be running from like a single man. She's overwhelmed. That's what I really liked about the trailer. Was they showed this, Arya being kind of cocky, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, or while she's being cocky during her little voiceover, she's running from something because she is like probably overwhelmed. This is not the Death she's used to seeing. So I love that line. I've seen Death has many faces. Can't wait to see this one while she's running from it. Uh-oh, be careful. JM dropped panties. Somebody dropped their panties. Careful. All right, here we go. Gotta be whites. Or maybe somebody that's turned. I did mention that in the video too. So here we go.
I know Death.
Davos. See, they took out some stuff here.
He's got many faces.
This next scene, you can definitely tell they took something out. Or that last one where she was running through the hallway, I mean. All right, here comes. Now this could be Theon's ships here. I'm not really sure. And then they cut it to make it look like Harry Strickland and Euron's, because that's not the silence, obviously, right there. But either way, it doesn't matter. We know we're going to see them both, so it's not necessarily tricky. But there's a Golden Company. Let me say this. I did look here and compare this sword right here to Blackfire, according to the World of Ice and Fire and what it looks like. And it's not it. It's just not it. I don't think they're going to do that because they didn't do they didn't do well, yeah, they could do Blackfire, but they didn't do Dark Sister, so I don't think they will. But supposedly Blackfire was left with the leader of the Golden Company in the books. It would be very cool to see Blackfire come back across the Narrow Sea, but I don't think they're going to do it. So this sword does not look like Blackfire, at least unless they change the look of it for the show for whatever reason. I don't know why they would. It's in the World of Ice and Fire, pretty straightforward, and it's got more. But this has kind of got a slight curve, and it's a different hilt. So not Blackfire, at least the way it should look as far as the books go. All right, here we go.
Everything you did brought you where you are now.
Now this is my thing. Where's this? This makes me think this is Winterfell after the battle's over, and they're coming in behind everybody going, what the hell happened here? I don't know. Because in the lightened version, you can see more wall, and it does look like Winterfell's walls. I don't think it's going to be, some people said the Night Fort or other castles on the wall. I don't think there's any reason for them to hang around the wall. So I think this is going to be Winterfell, and it may be in the same battle, and they're just... but they don't look like they're they look like they're on edge, kind of looking with his light, his candle, his giant sword candle. But I don't think they're in a fight here, so I don't know. It makes me think they're coming to Winterfell after it's been abandoned. So they're like behind everybody. I don't know, just a thought. Good afternoon, AJ. I forgot about the time change too. Here we go. So Bran and Sam. Now the first time I saw this, I didn't notice they were outside, but that you see Sam's breath, and then you realize when the lit version where you can see they're actually outside, so they're not inside right here. And why is it still sunny in Philadelphia? I mean, you know what I mean. Why is it still sunny in King's Landing here? I don't know. I guess it just stopped snowing after Jaime went up north. This is really cool. One of my favorite parts. Kind of, this is good. The parallel with season 1 when Bran's on the roof of Winterfell. This is Wintertown. First time I've ever actually seen Wintertown, like the actual little town that leads up to Winterfell. Really cool. Reminds you of Bran in season 1 watching Robert's procession come through. This is one of my favorite little spots here. And while Bran is doing his little voiceover. And I'm starting to think that more and more that he's actually talking to Dany. Because he's talking about you did everything, all this stuff you went through to get where you belong, and that's home. I don't know if that's Jon or not. It could be Dany, because Dany had this whole thing and just got home too. It could fit a lot of people. But this is one of my favorite parts. And they march in. Sansa sees the dragons for the first time. It's real. It's real.
They're coming.
This has got to be Jon in front of Lyanna's statue, right? I don't think this is Ned. When you back this up and you look at the other version, this right here, you can see that clear in the other version. It looks like Lyanna's statue right here. So I think this is after he's found out. Dany may not know yet. I don't know. But she's going to figure out what's wrong with him, because obviously he's pissed off or upset or whatever, which he should be. And she's going to go find out, oh shit, you're my nephew, and we just had epic boat sex. So, Mr. Shoon, hello. 34 days. Is that it? 34 days. Oh, my God. Diane Harris, hello, Diane. There's Mia. Hello, hello. There's Marilyn Bentley. Hello, hello. Anyway, all right, let's finish this up.
Our enemy doesn't tire. Doesn't stop.
There's the Dothraki there behind Jorah. A lot of people were asking about the Dothraki. They're behind him. And we saw the other horse shot there. So this is the Dothraki behind Jorah as they get ready for battle. This is probably where the part where Bran says he's here. And they all get outside and get positioned.
Doesn't feel.
There's Brienne, Jaime. I'm not sure if he's yelling Bronn or what. Cersei here after she loses this kid, I believe. Just assuming. I don't know. It could be wrong. Yes, I want to mention that really quick too. Thank you, Slimkey, I believe. Jorah does have Heartsbane on that horse there. And that scene back here, let's see, right there. This is Heartsbane. I did say this in the breakdown video as well. This is definitely the same as Heartsbane as far as the hilt and the handle. So at least right now, the Hound, we haven't seen the Hound except for that one little shot. So Jorah's getting Heartsbane for now. He can't really use Heartsbane in a battle. It's a two-handed greatsword, but the Hound could. So I don't know if he'll end up keep that or what, but right now on his horse he does have Heartsbane, Valyrian Steel, so he can try to swing this thing around. I don't know, but that's a big-ass sword for Jorah. That's more of a Hound sword. So that is Heartsbane for sure right there. I compared it. You saw that in the video, the breakdown video, if you've seen that already. So yeah, we got there we go. Cersei again. Now this right here, this is what I mean. All right, I can't show you on this one. When you look at the lit version, they probably didn't like this part. This is probably John and Danny, but in the trailer they've taken them out of the scene. So I think they're on the back of these dragons here. Otherwise, there is no point in showing them driving dragons, riding dragons around the north. There's just no point. So I think they took them out here, and it's hard to tell. Like right here, because I paused this, there's nobody here. But you see this blur? I don't know if you can see that on this screen. They probably took, in this case, this would be Rhaegal. This would be John right here. There's a shape right there of a person. I don't know if I'm drawing out with my mouse. I don't know if you can see it. But there is a shape right there of kind of a blur, and it looks like they removed John. So this will definitely be John, I think. I'm pretty damn sure. This will be John and Danny riding a dragon for the first time, and maybe he's taking him for a test run. She's kind of teaching him how. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I don't know if you can see that good on this screenshot, but you can kind of see the blur there of that shot there, and looks like they removed them two from the shots. So otherwise, what's the point? I mean, this is somewhere up in the vast north. It kind of looks north of the wall, but it wouldn't be north of the wall unless this is after it's all done. This could only be north of the wall or up north somewhere after this is all done. There's too much sun, and it's just too pretty. There's no harsh winter. There's no long night going on.
I promise to fight for the living.
Arya, Grey Worm, John at the tree. There is the Hound. I love this shot here. Fresh wounds, I think. I don't know if it's just glimmering or bleeding, but he is bleeding right here, and he's got fire beside him. Lights one half of his face. Love this shot. He's going to face the fire this year, and he's actually going to use it. Hello, Heather D. Welcome. There's Deborah Breedlove. Hello, Imagination Realm. 5-time Super Bowl champs. Game of Thrones sucks. No, best show in history, man. Jamie, somebody grabbing a bow. Here we go. They're going to hop on those dragons right there. Arya fighting whites. So there's what I mean. Arya's fighting whites here. She's fighting. She's going. She hits something here, and you see the blood coming off or whatever. The goo, whatever that actually means. Technically, whites shouldn't bleed, but they have showed them before in the past bleeding or blood flying out if they're relatively fresh or whatever. So these are just whites here, but then she's running in the beginning of the trailer. So this has to be before that, and she gets overwhelmed, or she sees somebody's turn that she loves. I don't know. It's really odd. I think she's getting overwhelmed and getting the hell up out of Dodge. Danny just found out, and Tyrion gets burned. No, I'm kidding. Tyrion's not going to get burned. Editing tricks. Everybody's waiting, and here he is. Well, here they are. He's on a dragon somewhere. Anyway. All right, let me get this back over to this. All right, so there it is. There it is again. The trailer. We got it. Pretty damn cool. Anyway, I'm excited about it, and I'm sad about it. Fresh whites. You know what I mean. More recent whites. More recent deaths is what I mean. Or they may still have some goo in them as opposed to dry ass bones. So anyway, let's see here. Let's pull up you guys' questions here, and I will pull them from the chat as well. Bo Baratheon on Patreon. Thank you, Bo Baratheon. Appreciate it, man. Q&A, do you think there's any chance that Tyrion betrays Dany or just wants Jon out of the picture because he's in love with Dany? He looks pretty salty in the season 7 when Jon and Dany are making little Targ babies. P.S. Feels good, damn good to be back, y'all. Thank you, Bo, man. I appreciate it, man. I don't think Tyrion is in love with him or with Dany like that. I don't think, because remember they had that conversation. Last year where she was talking about heroes and whatever, and they talked about succession. So he mentioned right there that Jon Snow was in love with her and all that. He didn't seem to be in love with her in that way. He loves her for what she's going to do, not in that way, I believe. So I don't think so. So I don't buy the idea that Tyrion betrays Dany. At least a straight-out betrayal. Something that may come off as a betrayal is a possibility. Something seen that way. But I can't see Tyrion straight up betraying Dany. It doesn't make sense for the character and what they've done for all these other seasons leading up to this, only for him to be working for his sister the whole time, who, by the way, he absolutely hates. Let's see here really quick. want to get behind so people don't check out. The Lady Eternal, thank you, Lady Eternal, for the super chat. Q&A, what if Bran says everything you did brought you where you are now, where you belong home? It's him talking to the Night King. Hashtag Protostark. That's a good question. It would be interesting. Maybe, hopefully, again, we don't hear him speak, the Night King. But maybe in a vision, Bran can speak to him. Or he can speak to him in person. He would understand, I'm sure. But it's interesting. I don't know. I don't know. It'd be really. I can see it fitting him. I can see it fitting Dany. I can see it fitting Jon. I see it really now fitting Dany more than anyone because she hadn't been in Westeros her whole entire life. She was born here and got had to leave. So I think it may be Dany, but that would be pretty. I don't know. It'd be odd. I mean, it's just like because I don't think Bran would necessarily talk to him that way. It's almost too soft and I don't know. Maybe it is. It could be. It does fit the idea of Proto-Stark for sure. But I don't know. It's a good idea. It'd be a damn good, a hell of a twist. And either way, however that happens, we got to get the Night King's perspective somehow. But I just hope he don't speak. That's all I mean. EJ160E, thank you, EJ, for the super chat. If Sam gives Heartsbane to Jorah, equals not mad at Dany. I don't think so. I think he would be upset about his brother. He's not going to care about his father, but Dany will explain that they had a choice, and they really did have a choice. I mean, I never understood we talked about this last week. Randall Tarley would have never sworn allegiance to Cersei and all that shit. She had no claim, and he wouldn't have broken his vow to Highgarden. So I think that'll be a quick little conversation where, look, I apologize, kind of like she apologized to Jon on behalf of House Targaryen before, but this time she was in an active battle. They were enemy combatants in a sense, and they did have a choice to live and serve her and not even go in a dungeon or die, and that was just the way it is. So he'll be upset. He'll be upset for sure. Let's see. Morty, what is 600? Oh, we got 640 something. Cool. We're speeding up here. We're getting up to the season. Welcome everyone. Yeah, if you don't mind, please subscribe. We're trying to hit that 100K goal this season. Appreciate it. Let's see. So yeah, EJ, I think they'll get rid of that pretty quick. I think they'll get rid of that pretty quick, and he'll be pissed off about his brother, but his dad, he couldn't give a damn. Let's see. Some Gamer 79, appreciate it for the super chat. Predictions on Clegane Bowl and the Hound's demise. I think we got to get Clegane Bowl now. The question is he going to be fighting his brother, or is he going to be fighting a white mountain? Because it's not really him anymore, so I don't think he's driven by that anymore, even though he said that last year. But he's not going out of his way, is what I mean. He's not going out of his way to go kill him. It's going to be a target of opportunity. So I'm still on the train that they go to King's Landing or whatever. They have to get out of the north. They head south. And, a lot of people think him and Arya will team up in some way. The question is it going to be worth it for him to kill somebody that's not even his brother anymore? So he's going to have to go, and I think that's where the fire comes in. I think the Hound has to use fire to kill his brother, and he may end up going with him. I don't know. I'm still 50-50 on the Hound living, but I hope he does. I want him to be sitting there with Tyrion, sipping on Imp's Delight. That's that's my preference. So we're going to get a Clegane Bowl of some version of Clegane Bowl. Lord Kev of House Fukin, thank you for the super chat. I just see some eyes there. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Don't see a question, but I'm sure you got some on Patreon I'll get to in just a second. Tom Bystander, thank you, Tom. You two are the best. Hope you still create content after Thrones is won by Tyrion and his baby dragon he magically finds. Cheers. Yes. Thank you so much, Tom. Appreciate it. We're definitely going to still be going after Game of Thrones. And I was actually thinking about today, we'll see if James is interested. I think I'll start not only we'll do the prequels. Obviously, we got a prequel coming, and probably more than one. We'll have some other shows. I'll be doing movie reviews occasionally as well, stuff like that. Back to some stuff that I used to do before Game of Thrones became the main thing. But I think I'll start some kind of regular podcast on this channel. Some kind of entertainment podcast where it's just casual. It doesn't take away from videos or something like that. Some kind of like we did with a side effect or something. I don't know. I don't know if we'll do, just where anything and everything, have some guests on here. I think we'll do that. So that'll be on, if we do, I already have it set up for this. It'll be on SoundCloud and iTunes and Google Play and YouTube as well. So there's definitely going to be some more coming after the season. So yeah, be sure to subscribe. We've got plenty more coming after Game of Thrones. Although we will talk about GOT for, I'm sure, a couple months after the show. There's still going to be a lot to digest and break down, for damn sure. Let's see here. Thank you, BTV2000, for subbing. Appreciate that. Thank you, let's see, Mel, I believe, for subscribing. Let's see here. The Raging Cajun, thank you for the super chat as well. Again, no Edmure Tully. Where is he? You know what? I know I agree. Raging Cajun, they have to do something with Edmure, at least show him. He could have been there at Winterfell. Maybe Jamie brings him. I've heard that rumor. That would make sense. Maybe he just shows up. I don't know. But it seems like he should be. It seems like they need to close that loophole, obviously, and not leave that as a big plot hole. So at least show him with a couple men. He don't have a big army or anything, but at least show them come up to Winterfell or something. Or maybe when they back down south, because they're going to have to retreat. They're going to have to get the hell out of Winterfell through the crypts. Maybe they go to the Riverlands. I think things are heading toward the Riverlands anyway. Of course, you know my God's Eye theory. If you know my endgame theory, the Isle of Faces, all that stuff. Very close by. So maybe, they meet up with Edmure there or something. But I don't know any filming stuff this year. I stayed away from as many spoilers as possible. So I don't know if Edmure's actor was in it. But I will say this, as I mentioned the other week, they did list him in the episode 1 cast list, but that doesn't mean he will be in it, because they've done that before where they just list all the main characters even if they're not in the episode. So he was listed. He was listed. So hopefully that is the case. Let's see here. Why is this not let me refresh that page. I don't know what's going on with that page. Thank you, Don Adams, for subscribing. Thank you, Felipe Miranda, for subscribing. Appreciate it. Let's see. Where was I at here? I'm trying to make sure I've lost my spot here. Thank you, Padaga Painting and Services, for subbing. Let's see. Okay, so yes, okay, Miguel. Thank you, Miguel, for the super chat. Appreciate it. The Night King just wants to rest in the crypts. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Depending on, we believe he's a Stark. We always say Proto-Stark. It depends on history, and if the history is correct, or I'm sure it's wrong, how many years, whatever. But he's definitely, I don't think it's just as simple as that, though, because he's going to go further south. They're not going to stop at Winterfell. I don't buy the idea that, episode 3, we have this giant battle, and it stops at Winterfell. Because they're going to win that battle. There's no question about it. The Night King, and the Army of the Dead, they're going to drive the living, whoever's left, away from Winterfell. And I don't think he just stops there. You know what I mean? So it's possible. We just don't know the timelines when Winterfell was built compared to the crypts. They are older. I think they're part of the Children's Network, tunnels. So it would be cool. It would be cool. We're definitely going to find out that he's a Stark. I definitely agree with that. I don't know if it's as simple as he just wants to rest there. He does want to rest. I will give you that for sure. He wants this curse broken. I think that's part of the big twist, so to speak. So I definitely think that's going to happen. We'll find out he's a Stark and all that good stuff. But I don't think he's just like, okay, I want my castle, because that castle should not have existed before he was turned. But again, we could have a screwed up timeline, and I'm sure we do. Let's see where. This is in the wrong. Okay. There. Here's what's going on. I got it now. I got it. Thank you. Let's see. Equal thank you for the super chat as well. I agree. Gooey whites. Exactly. Arya's scared of a walker. Stark relatives would be all bones. They would never let us see a beloved character as a white, in my opinion. Yeah, we've been saying this. I agree. Equal. I don't think we're not going to see Starks rise up from the crypts or whatever. There's just nothing left there. They're dust. And even the more recent people, like let's say Rickon, right? Rickon was buried there last year. But did Jon burn his body and put his ashes in there like he should have? Or did he just put him in the crypts, just his bones, like his whole body? So if that's the case, we could see some recent Starks. But other than that, it's not going to be a big thing where the old Kings of Winter come out, with their because they're nothing. They're dust. There's nothing left. So I agree. EJ, thank you, EJ, for the super chat as well. Saw Trebuchet behind Unsullied. Boat baby ammo equals own. Yes, Trebuchets were definitely, I saw 2 of them, I believe, behind the Unsullied in that shot. So they're ready to fling. I don't know. I guess they're going to try some fire. Maybe they'll probably have tar, maybe burning tar balls, or something. Burning tar balls. That's what they'll do. I even thought about like a bunch of dragon glass shards or something, where it's a bunch of sharp dragon glass they fling out there, similar to arrows or something. That would be a good idea. So definitely going to use trebuchets for sure. Mo Castillo, thank you, Mo. Appreciate it. Is King's Landing going to blow up? I believe that's the only other location to stop the Ice King wildfire. I think it's very possible. I feel like we're going to see a wildfire attempt. As far as, Cersei will try to burn everyone there, all her enemies at one time, even if she dies, because she's not going to let anybody have it. If she can't have it, that's the way she is. So I believe that will at least be attempted, but I don't know if it'll actually happen or not. But then again, if we do have these caches of wildfire and they do battle there and dragons are involved, I don't know. I mean, we could see Dany or Jon, for example, accidentally blow up King's Landing. It's not out of the realm of possibility for damn sure, and it's going to be bad. So I would flip a coin. I would flip a coin if it's actually going to blow up. But they did make a point to make sure we realized as an audience, remember last year, they made a point to say 1 million people lived there when Jon asked Tyrion out on the boat. So definitely going to happen. There's going to be something involved with that. Whether it actually happens or not, we'll see. Sword in the Darkness, thank you, Sword in the Darkness, for the super chat as well. How do you feel about the idea of Jaime could die saving Bran full circle? I like it. I do like it, but it takes away from my idea that Cersei is killed by Jaime. So that's what I don't like about it. I love that idea. I love the idea of Jaime protecting Jon or saving him in some way, saving his true king, kind of going full circle with the books and that fever dream he had. We've talked about that before. So I love the idea, and I think it's certainly possible because remember, in the show, they don't have to do the Valonqar. They can have Cersei die however they want. They didn't mention the Valonqar part with Maggie the Frog, unless they plan on revealing that as another flashback through Cersei this year, which would kind of be cool. But Cersei left the tent. She was about to leave the tent when they did it. So they don't have to do the Valonqar part in the show. They can make anybody kill Cersei. But I would still love to see it be Jaime. That would be cool to me. But so I'm fine either way with that. That would work for me as far as the show goes. Let's see here. Let me grab a couple here from Patreon. Let's see. Peach, I mentioned yours. Yes, that's right. Mother Dragon has added, Tyrion has added an action figure. These are big ass dolls. I wish I had it, Tyrion. I would show it right now. I don't have it in here. But yeah, she makes these badass dolls. I have of Dany, and she sent James Sansa, and she's going to donate one of those as well, I believe, to Protocon for somebody. So that's very cool. Thank you, Tyrion. Randy Sumatsu on Patreon as well. The trailer is still resonating with me. I do think it's intended to show that Arya is still vulnerable. And though it's kind of sad that it's fear that brings out her humanity, maybe it will help her to reconnect her other emotions. Then again, maybe it'll contribute to her death. I hope not. She's still young, and I want her to live. #Ariel Warging. No, I agree, Randy. I think that was a really good thing they did with the trailer, showing that cocky attitude. And then, like I said in the breakdown video, hello Muse, how are you? I said in the breakdown video, she's showing her expectations because she thinks she's seen it all versus the reality of what this is. This is a whole different ball game. So I think it was great. I think it was outstanding. Let's see. Allison Rose. There's Allison Rose. There's CB Diva, Carol Brown. Hello. Let's see. Mike M. We never saw who. Okay, I'm sorry. You're responding to somebody else. You're saying you never saw a dead body. Whose dead body are we talking about? Yeah, Equal Star. I'll try to grab that on break. Actually, I'll try to grab the Dany doll. I will do that if I remember. Remind me. Let's see. Meg Paul has a question in the chat here. Q&A, do you think the Golden Company will turn because they're... Hold on, I'm losing it. Because they're Targ loyalists? Actually, Blackfire loyalists, right? Or do you think they'll turn when they see how dire the threat is? Meg Paul, I think it could go both ways, actually. In the show, they could just forget the Blackfire stuff and just focus on Targaryens, and it would be fine. They don't have to have a separate house. They could quickly explain it in a couple sentences, and I think they will be, once they realize what's going on, I think that will be the main thing for me, though. If they use the Blackfire angle, they would not necessarily care about following Dany. If they don't, and say a dragon is a dragon, which they could, that's been mentioned before too, as far as the Dance of the Dragon stuff, they could definitely turn when they find out they're going to kill Dany. But when they find out that Cersei's trying to kill the living people, they're trying to literally save the world, they're going to break their contract. So it might be a little bit of both, actually. They find out it's a Targaryen, they're still like, we're paid to do this. But then they find out, wait a minute, why are we trying to kill her again? She's trying to save the world. They're up there fighting, and they have this peace and everything. And now Cersei's sending us to kill them. That doesn't make any sense. We're not going to get paid anyway. We're going to switch sides. That's all there is to it. So that's definitely going to happen. Thank you, Michael Britt, for subscribing. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Thank you, is that Karthik, I believe, for subbing as well. Appreciate it. Thank you, Don Adams, for subscribing. And Felipe, I believe I said Felipe before. And Michael Britt. Thank you, TJ, for the donation. Appreciate it through Streamlabs. Q&A, which episode do you think we'll find out what the Night King wants? Thank you for your awesome content and live stream. It's really helped pass the time the past few years. Yes, thank you so much, TJ. Appreciate it. And love doing these. Love hanging out with you guys. I think they'll wait on that one. I don't think it's going to be like in the first, I would say, half of the season. Just a guess, but I think it would be probably. I'll say episode 4 or 5 because I think 6 will be part of 6 at least will be a little bit of an epilogue, not the whole thing necessarily, but kind of like a few years after or a few months or whatever it may be. Or maybe it's just right after and the Long Night's over and they'll show a little bit of change in the rebuilding process or whatever. So I would guess episode 5. I'm just a pure guess, but I don't think it'll come in the first 3. I think it'll be straight up war up until at least that episode where we get that turn. Or the reason he's coming back. Let's see. That was Hairless Oyster. Hello, Hairless Oyster. I saw a question you just had, but I just freaking lost it. Herb Coswell in the chat here. Let's see. Thank you, Herb. What are your thoughts on the theory that White Gendry is chasing Arya? That's not a bad idea. That's actually not a bad idea. I hadn't thought about. I did say somebody she knows or loves, but I didn't think about Gendry specifically. That would be a good idea, actually. I mean, I don't want it to happen. I'm just saying. Try to refresh Dust on the Throne if your chat's freezing. Who's this guy? He should know what's going on. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, he might actually walk in here. I'm not sure where you're at, man. But yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Herb. For her to see Gendry and not want to kill him, even though she could obviously, and see him chasing her. That would be pretty damn bad. That would be that's crazy to think about. Let's see. Raphael C on Patreon. Thank you, Raphael. In a lot of the TV movie battles, there's a moment when the battle seems lost, and then someone comes out of nowhere and helps the good guys win the battle, like in the Battle of Bastard or Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings. Do you think that one will happen in the battles of Season 8? And if so, who will ride in to save the day? You know what? I don't think that'll happen this time. I agree. Most, Battle of the Bastards was a perfect example. We saw somebody come in and save the day or whatever. I don't think that's going to happen. Episode 3 is going to be a huge battle. They're going to lose that one. There's going to be some other type of battle somewhere. I think this time it's just a matter of they barely squeak it out because they find out at some point what they actually have to do to kill this dude. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So I don't think it's going to look like almost hopeless until they finally get the information Bran gets to Jon or whatever it is about what actually needs to happen. Whether that's the Isle of Faces or God's Eye or whatever it may be for the show, and they'll kind of barely squeak it out. It'll be like you're holding your breath on the edge of your seat type of thing, and not so much somebody coming in with some other. There's just no other armies. I mean, they did away with Dorne, which is there's an entire army sitting down there. They did away with the Reach and people in there, so I'd imagine it's going to be kind of a squeaker, if that makes sense. So Anyway, let's see. But Craig Boone's actually saying Melisandre, perhaps. That's a good idea. I do think, and K-Dub is saying Varys. Yeah, Varys is just hiding. Varys may actually be the one to help get the Golden Company on the right side. Dragon saying it's Bran who saves the day. I think those are all great ideas. Melisandre could be cool, as Craig is saying on Patreon there. Melisandre, we said before, she goes out in a literal blaze of glory. So that would be kind of cool for her to show back up, the last minute sacrifice herself. She will die by fire. I just hope she has some magic tricks to go along with it that can blow up a shit ton of whites, kill a couple White Walkers, something to make part of that army fall. So I'd imagine that's what's going to happen. And she gets a full redemption, if that's the case. Let's see here. Where am I at here? Thank you, Daniel Hardy, for subbing. Appreciate it. Thank you, Daniel. Misha, super chat. Thank you, Misha. Why did they not have Arya use a bow against the White Walkers to them to turn? Why do they not have Arya use a bow against the White Walkers to then in turn kill the Whites? I agree, Misha. We should see some bowmen. We should see some dragonglass arrows, though. So we may see that. They may catch a White Walker, and then you see like a portion of the Whites drop, but they wouldn't show us that yet. They're not going to show us any real action. They literally, it was literally a teaser in the sense of the actual battle. We got a few shots or whatever, but they only showed us really 2 shots of anybody actually swinging a sword. So I think, Misha, I think you're right on. I think that'll happen. Something like that will happen. I'd imagine they're going to have archers. There's no doubt, and they're going to rain down, I'm assuming, dragonglass arrows. There was a shot in there you could see a bunch of dragonglass. They had a big thing where Gendry was working on it, or other blacksmiths. They have dragonglass things up on the walls and shit, so they got it everywhere. I'd imagine that will happen. Let's see. Paige Roberts, thank you for the super chat as well. Could Jon and Dany possibly not be at the Battle of Winterfell and leave and go to another mission to maybe help defeat the Night King, etc.? I guess it's possible, but I couldn't imagine Jon abandoning Winterfell during that battle. I just can't see that happening because they've already given him enough hell, right? They've given enough hell for leaving and going to see Dany in the first place. Hold on, Hairless Oyster. I see that. I'm gonna try to grab it. Hopefully this won't scroll and lose it. But yeah, I think he would have to stay there for the battle. Now Dany could potentially do something on her own, like if she needs to hop on a dragon. At this point, I think whether Jon knows yet or not, we don't know. So at this point, I think she could probably hop on Drogon and do something completely separate. Because otherwise, she's not going to sit up there with a sword, right? They got to use these dragons. Otherwise, they don't have a chance. So I think it's possible for Dany kind of to split off and do something different. But I don't think Jon would abandon the actual battle. He's got to lead that battle, I think. Just my opinion. Thank you, Terry Smith, for the dono through Streamlabs. Appreciate it. Great content, and you're too funny. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Terry. Means a lot. Let's see. Hairless Oyster has a question here. Q&A serious. Okay, this is a serious one, ladies and gentlemen, from Hairless Oyster. It's been said the Night King has a specific target. Yeah, I did that separate video on this whole target thing. Who do you think it is, and when will James share another personal story? The last one was gold. I know. You got time for a quick story? I don't know. Maybe if he gets in here in time. I don't know what time he's going to get here. I think he's going to get here probably right as we're closing. But he can share one anytime, man. But as far as the Night King's target, man, I think just right offhand, it seems to be Bran. But I don't think it's a... That was Vladimir, the actor, who said that you'll find out who that is. But it doesn't mean there still can't be a place like the God's Eye or Alafaces. So the thing is, he could have killed Jon several times. He could have killed Dany and Jon and all of them right there above the wall. But he wanted a dragon to get through the wall, I guess, and then maybe to do something when he gets through the wall. That would be the God's Eye, Alafaces. So that doesn't mean there's still not something for him to do. So I think he's got to go to the Alafaces and find the rest of the children in Order of the Green Men. Now, I know people will say, like we said before, that's not a show thing, but they could easily set that up with a flashback with Bran in episode 1. They could set up the Alafaces. So, but as far as people, you would think it's Bran because he killed Bloodraven and they're a threat to him. They can spy on him and at least give humans information on what to do. But nobody can really stop him. So I think it's got to be Bran, but because Jon, they've had the stare down. He knows his kin to him. He knows who Jon is or whatever. When he saw the White Walker get killed by Valyrian steel, he knew he was this Azor Ahai figure or whatever. He probably knows prophecy too. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I think if we're just thinking about the people and not necessarily a location or whatever, a specific place, it seems Bran is the most logical choice for that because he's the one that actually has the power, you know what I mean, to stop him in some way or at least help. K-Dubs on Patreon. Thank you, K-Dubs. If Bran can work someone while in a vision of the past, can he have a vision after he has worked someone? It would solve the issue of not being able to see a past scene. He could work a willing person and share a vision with them, say maybe Jon. It wouldn't be necessary, but it could be awesome. What do you say? We've actually said that before, K-Dubs, if you remember. We said that it would be cool if he could, like, mind meld, pull a fucking Spock, and mind meld with Jon to show him the past. But as far as we know, we don't know how that works. We know that Varamir Sixskins could not do it. Then again, that person was not willing, like you said. So if somebody willingly opens their mind, will it fuck them up? Will they have a Hodor moment? Can they handle it? I don't know. We'll see. It would be kind of cool, I think. So instead of having to see, you can let Jon, for example, see his own birth. That would be kind of cool. I like the idea. But I don't want him to go too crazy with Bran saves everything. Be Wiser in the chat has a question here. Do you think Jon will survive Season 8? And if he dies, will you be upset about it? I think he will survive Season 8 because it just seems odd to me for him to die again. But then again, you could say he was brought back for one particular reason. Once he fulfills that reason, then he can die. And that's fine too. I would not be super upset if Jon died. I mean, I don't want him to die. But there's other people I'd rather see live. Because I know if at least if Jon goes, that he went out doing the right thing and trying to save the damn world. So I wouldn't be terribly upset. I would hate it, but I wouldn't be like, y'all fuck this show or something like that if Jon died. Because it's going to be bad. There's going to be a lot of death. But they don't have to kill everybody. Boss Mode. Thank you, Jennifer, for grabbing this from Boss Mode. I'm really hoping to see a moment with Ghost and Dany. As a book reader, I feel it essential. What's your thoughts? Yes, I did a completely separate video on this, Boss Mode, that Ghost will be the first one to notice that Dany's pregnant. I don't have the link to that right here. If you want to find that video, somebody can find that and link it. I talk about Ghost and Dany having a moment, and then Ghost and Drogon meeting as well. So I think it needs to happen, and we are going to see Ghost this year, for damn sure. Let's see here. Diane Harris, do you think that during the battle, Bran will remain at the weirwood tree in an attempt to ward a dragon or Nymeria and her wolf pack, or have the raven attack? I think it's possible, but then again, we've seen Bran have visions where he's not beside a weirwood tree, so I don't know. That's why I think Bran needs to get to the Isle of Faces. We've said that a million times. We think he's got to get there where he's kind of surrounded by water, and and they can pretend like they can't freeze it for a while like they did up north. And that way he has some time until the water freezes while he does whatever he needs to do with the Isle of Faces. That's why I like the idea so much. One of the reasons I like the idea so much is, during the dragon trap, he could have instantly frozen that water around a freshwater lake. So they used it, though, they were sitting out there for over a day or whatever it was while Dany flew up there. They can do the same thing at the God's Eye and protect Bran in that sense, where he's surrounded by water and somebody can drop him off on a dragon. But then again, the Night King is on a dragon too, so that kind of, that could be something that obviously stops that. Let's see. Let's see. Dragon 5616 on Patreon. Thank you, Dragon. Where were the Dothraki in the trailer? Is it too cold for them up north? Yeah, they were there. They were behind Jorah. We saw that in the beginning there. Obviously, they just showed a quick shot of them. And all those horses are probably the Dothraki as they're getting in position. So they're definitely out there. They have more furs on and shit. So I don't think they'll make a big deal out of the weather. I really don't. I mean, it's going to be nasty, cold, dark, whatever. I think a fight's a fight. Yeah, they're used to heat and all that stuff, but I don't think they're going to make it a big deal. I just think it's going to be a lot of people die, and they end up whites anyway. So I think you're going to see a lot of Dothraki whites in that group after that battle for sure. Let's see. Mother of Dragon on Patreon. Thank you, Mother of Dragon. I think one of the biggest shockers is going to be that some of the great people actually live. Jon and Dany's baby will very likely live, and someone with some integrity will survive to raise it. If not, Germ, HBO are throwing away a potential gold mine. Yeah, well, they're not going to do any sequels, I should say. That's supposed to be a done deal, but they could always change that if George R. R. Martin decides to let them do it. He did not sell them the rights to anything after the show or after the story. So, but I think you're right, though. They don't have to kill everybody. They don't have to kill everybody for it to be horrible and heart-wrenching and all that. I mean, it just take one of your favorite characters. If one of your favorite characters dies in season 8, it's going to be heart-wrenching and bad. So now add about 10 more, But they don't have to kill everybody. They don't, and it can still be a good story where it's not too cliche or whatever. I think you can. I think you'll see Jon or Dany. Maybe, but they can actually both live to raise their child. Maybe Dany, maybe Jon dies again. Dany's not the queen. She just wants to raise her child, and she lets people vote on who to become ruler, and it ends up being Sansa or somebody like that. So I think that's a possibility for sure. They don't have to kill everybody to make it bad and realistic. Mo Castillo on Patreon. Thank you, Mo. Q&A. The Three-Eyed Raven said that the past is already written, and the ink is dry, of course. And the show shows Bran specific events in history. I believe the reason he does this is because he knows Bran will interfere with a specific event. Do you think Bran wargs to the man who becomes the Night King, and maybe the Night King doesn't want to kill Bran, but potentially kidnap him to prevent him from stopping the Night King? So I don't buy the idea that Bran wargs into the guy that becomes the Night King. I think the idea was that Bloodraven is the one who tried to warn the Mad King, or something through him, somebody where he was picking up the signal, so to speak, and that's what helped drive him crazy about burn them all. So Bloodraven tried that already and basically told Bran, don't do anything in the past. You can't change the past. He knows it can. He knows he can because he yelled out to Ned in both book and show, and he heard it. So with that said, I think he was warning Bran not to fuck up the past, is what I'm saying. So that's my idea as far as what Bloodraven told Bran. I don't think he's lying to him in a sense to try to be, because he's some evil character. I think he is trying to save the realm, but it was to prevent him from screwing up the past and making things worse, is what I mean. So what will Bran probably do? He'll probably screw up something in the past and make things worse. So anyway, I think that's my take on it. It doesn't make sense for me for Bran to warg the guy tied to a tree. If you try to save the guy from never being created, warg the kid, the children of the forest, or warg somebody else to go and stop her from stabbing him. You know what I mean? It never made sense for me to warg that guy. And then he gets stuck. Because at some point, you would have to see Bran basically go into warg mode, and then he just never wakes up. So it doesn't work. It'd be really weird. And also, Craig Boone on Patreon. Thank you, Craig. Good evening, fellas. Always a highlight of my week. Q&A these. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. With the release of this amazing trailer, do you think that these shots of the dragons flying in the north and Dany and Jon digitally removed from their backs? Yeah, okay. Well, I'm sorry, Craig. I was just a little late there trying to keep up with all this. We're already getting into, season territory here with the viewers. A number of questions. But yeah, I think they were definitely digitally removed, for sure. Seems like the perfect test flight scene to me. Something tells me they removed a lot from the trailer as not exactly. So exactly, Craig, you were right on it. That's what we talked about at the very beginning, obviously, when we showed the trailer. I think they definitely removed Jon and Dany from those scenes. Because it's going to be it's going to be one of the few beautiful shots, right, of season 8, where everything's like, bright and sunny, and, they play the good, nice, soothing music. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway. Let's see here. I'm sorry. I'm trying to refresh Patreon and keep up with all this at the same time. Let's see. Amanda Deep. I'm sorry. Amandeep. Palmer. Thank you, Amandeep. Manderdeep Palmer. That's what we're going to say. Thank you for the super chat. Will Unsullied be at the disadvantage fighting with their long sticks against high volume of White Walkers? Yeah, if they used it more like a bow staff, they maybe, but yeah, The problem is with a spear. You're talking about their spears. When they stab something, they're committed to that particular thing, and everything can get them from the sides. And you have to withdraw the spear and use it again. But if they use it like a bow staff, both ends of it, like we see Arya kind of doing, that makes more sense. So the Unsullied are trained with other weapons, though. That's just their primary weapon. So I'd imagine they're going to try to use their shields and make a wall and stab them with dragonglass tips. And they do have dragonglass tips on them, by the way, so they're going to use them. You can see in the trailer, when you freeze frame that trailer scene, they do have dragonglass tips on everything. So they are definitely weaponed up. Thank you, Mitchell, I think Marco, I believe, for subbing. Appreciate it. Thank you, Becky. Becky Malambi, I believe, for subscribing as well. Thank you, Daniel Hardy, for the super chat. At SmokeScreen, Jojen in Season 3 says, the Night's Watch can't stop them. The kings of Westeros and their armies can't stop them. Bran is the key. Yeah, and Jon Snow says the exact same thing, that, we can't stop them. All the kings in the South can't stop them. So it's definitely going to be, there's got to be a magical thing involved. And that's what we've always said about Jon and his magical blood, right? His magical blood has got to be involved. And Bran's got to be a key in that as well. So Bran's the information guy. Sam kind of guides him, whatever, that's what's happening. Tells him where to go, because it's all scrambled in his brain. And then he tells Jon the information, and Jon's going to have to do whatever's got to be done to get that piece of damn dragonglass out of his chest, is the bottom line. Because you can't just kill him. Thank you, Haley, for subscribing as well. Appreciate it. And thank you, excuse me, Terry Smith, for donating through Streamlabs as well for the dono. Melisandre, Night's Queen. Her power strongest in the wall, and she told Varys she must die in this place. Yeah, I don't buy any Night's Queen stuff. I don't really think that's a thing in the show. That would be more of a book idea, I think. I don't think that this entire time that he's been hanging around up north and not doing anything, and then he reacts to something, which could be Jon's birth or something at Summerhall or whatever it may be, whatever you think it is, just to get a wife or a girlfriend or whatever. I just don't. I don't buy that idea, because the Night's King story is a different person. You have to have a original White Walker, Night King, whatever you want to call him in the books, for the Night's Watch and the Wall to be built in the first place in order to have a Night's King story. And whether they have that history wrong or not, doesn't matter if it's the 13th Lord Commander or whatever. It is pretty known that it was the Night's Watch. It was a Lord Commander. So if you have a Lord Commander that's the Night's King in the books, as far as that story, that tale, you have to have a cause to that, which would be the original Night King, the White Walker, the first White Walker. So it's two different people. It's not the same person. I think they just used the name for a leader figure in the show. Dakade, what's up, man? I hadn't even seen you in here. What's up, man? Let's see. But yeah, anyway, thank you, Terry. That's my idea. And Varys, it was kind of vague. He's going to die in Westeros anyway. I guess what she really meant was, you're going to die a little sooner than you think. So anyway, that's my idea on it. I think Melisandre will sacrifice herself, so she will die. But I don't think she'll be like a Night's Queen or like a female White Walker, whatever. Just my opinion. Let's see. Jay is bored. Have you Q&A? Have you made good use of the condoms and breath mints? No. That it really wasn't that when that K-Dubs dropped off. The Coke is. I think we have a Coke left, K-Dubs. Other than that, it's gone. So yeah, we made good use of the condoms and breath mints. Jesus. Let's see here. Let me grab. I'm trying to keep up with all this at one time now. Uptown, thank you, Uptown Dresh, for subscribing. Appreciate it. And I think I said Haley already. Thank you, Haley. Let's see. On Patreon, K-Dubs, I think in a Greenseer vision, you must have founded the name and named the city of Concord, knowing we could have a con there, Proto-Concord. You're a fucking genius. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. I do have the site. I can't always control it. It just comes to me occasionally in dreams. But that's exactly what happened. No, I didn't name this shit. You guys in the chat, you guys in the chat named this Protocon. It started with Proto Stark and the drinking game, and that's what happened. That's all on you. Y'all are the geniuses. Y'all named it. Dragon56 on Patreon as well. Will everyone be drinking frosted sundrop margaritas during the long night? Q&A. Exactly. If Maggie's prophecy comes true, it's got to be either Dany or Sansa in the throne at the end, right? Well, it doesn't have to be them on the throne. It doesn't say somebody will rule the throne or sit on the throne. It just says another, you're assuming younger, more beautiful queen comes around to cast down all you hold dear, cast her down and take all she holds dear. So it doesn't mean somebody sits on the throne. I still think that in the end, there will not be an Iron Throne. I think Dany or Jon or somebody will have that melted down. It'll rhyme with Aegon the Conqueror, and it could be this current Aegon Targaryen or Dany herself, because she kind of parallels that story. They have it melted down, and then they will have some kind of vote on a ruler, and it may be still like a monarchy for a while, but essentially you start to see things change. So I don't believe that there's a winner, a direct winner to the Game of Thrones. So I hope that makes sense. Proto Peach on Patreon. Many people are saying that Arya is running to bait the Night King or Whites to a certain spot. Thoughts? Yeah, it's a good idea, but she's genuinely scared shitless, is the thing. Hairless Oyster, when I was, no. I don't think that's the thing. No. Yeah, it's a good idea, Proto Peach. But I mean, that scene, like, if she was doing it, you would think it was more, she wouldn't be as scared. You know, she's definitely seen something that freaked her out. And that's why, like, I like the idea, like Gendry, like Herb said with Gendry or somebody that's a white. I think she just overrun with whites there, but there might be one they took out in that trailer. You can see there's something was digitally removed in one of those shots. It may be a Gendry or somebody she knows leading that pack of whites, and she doesn't want to quite accept that they're turned and she has to kill them or something. That makes the most sense to me, but that's a good idea. B-Rye on Patreon. Thank you, B-Rye. I think, I can't think of a good reason for this, but that'd be cool if Future Bran was one that hired the assassin that tried to kill him with the cat's paw. Yeah, I don't know. That sounds cool. But it could be another loop there to get himself to leave Winterfell to end up going north. So, you know, some people think Bloodraven had something to do with that. He, you know, kind of made Jaime do the deed, you know, or whatever. So there is a possibility something like that happened, because if he would have never failed, he would have never left Winterfell. I don't think he would have ever agreed to actually leave Winterfell if he could ride and just run off and try to become a knight somewhere, you know. So it's fair. It's a fair question, but I don't think it would be Bran hiring somebody. It was Joffrey. Joffrey did it. We already know Joffrey did it. That's definitely in the books. So Joffrey did it to impress his father. They didn't really make it clear in the show. More about it was just Littlefinger's fault. So I don't think it's Bran doing it. It's pretty much confirmed it's Joffrey. Michael Smith on Patreon. Thank you, Michael. I think Sam giving Heartsbane to Jorah will be for the respect to his father and pay off for the last scene. Yeah, Michael, that makes complete sense. All I was saying is that Jorah wouldn't be able to effectively use it. So it's like, get it to the Hound. He can use that shit effectively. He's big enough and strong enough to hold that thing and use it in battle. Jorah, too small for a great sword. Shannon Thomas, thank you for the super chat, Shannon. Do you think Davos had his productive walk and shit? Yeah, I said that in the trailer breakdown as well. He's walking back and forth and pacing, and I was like reminding you guys, remember what he said before every battle. He goes off alone from camp and shits his guts out. So I think he probably did have a productive. He probably walked away or went to a different a different shitter somewhere in a different part of the castle and probably did the same thing. They may actually pull another joke up with that. That'd be kind of funny. Excuse me. Thank you, Uptown Drees, for subbing. Thank you, Ghost R33 for subbing. Let's see. Mo Castillo, thank you for the super chat as well. How is the stronger moment between the Night King and Jon Snow going to go down in season 8? Any crazy theories you have? I don't know. I don't know if you're talking about the like a one-on-one situation. I think it's possible for them to have a little one-on-one. But I think that goes down something like this. They start fighting. It's not as easy as the other White Walkers to Jon. And then Jon actually hits him with Longclaw, and it does nothing. It literally bounces off, and the Night King just kind of smiles or smirks, and Jon has that oh shit moment, and that's when they realize that Dragonglass and Valyrian Steel will not hurt him. So I think that's how it goes down. That way you can get that one-on-one Jon, the old way moment versus the Night King, but then he has the oh shit moment realization that this is not going to work, and he's got to get the hell out of Dodge, and they have to do something different, which involves the twist, I think. That's my take on it. Let's see. All right, let's see. Where are we at? Let me grab these 2 questions on Patreon, then I'll take a stretcher really quick and come back and grab chat questions. I think I'm caught up here. Q Seaton on Patreon, 2-year wait and still don't think I'm ready for what we'll get this season. Have a feeling we'll lose a lot of characters. I agree. I've been saying this. Everybody's been mad about it. We're like, hurry up, April. And now that April's approaching, I'm getting nervous about it, man. I'm getting nervous about this shit. Because it's like, I don't want it to end, for one thing. I just love the show. I don't want it to end. And I don't want to see great characters die again, and they're going to rip our hearts out this year. I'm telling you right now. They're damn sure going to do it. So it's really odd. I'm nervous about it. I'm nervous about watching a damn TV show. That's how big this thing is, though. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And Bo Baratheon, thank you as well on Patreon. Melisandre told Varys that they both had to die in Westeros. So do you think that Varys has a part to play or just dies in the chaos? Bo, I think he has a part to play. I do. I think he at least has one more part to play. And I'm hoping that has something to do with either killing Qyburn or getting the Golden Company involved in as far as on Team Targaryen. So that would be really cool if he disappears for a while and then shows up later with the Golden Company and they're not attacking Jon and Dany. That's what I kind of want to happen. So he does have some kind of part to play and has a purpose. Otherwise, he may just be one to lose at Winterfell. And that could very well happen. Episode 3, the battle comes. He's down there with the women and children, like Gilly and the babies and stuff like that. And the kids too young to fight. Because remember, girls and boys are all fighting in this war. They made that clear last year. So he could simply die in the chaos, assuming they don't have some kind of another informational type of thing for him to do. And I think that maybe the Golden Company could be him and Jorah getting the Golden Company to break their contract and making them realize what's going on. All right, so I think I'm caught up before. So if that's the case, let me take a quick stretcher and let the Riddick out really quick, and then I'll come back and grab questions from the chat as well. Let's see here. I think I'm good. Let me make sure. I don't want to miss anything in case people step away and I think I've missed their questions. But I think I'm good. Hopefully mods will stay on me about this stuff. Got to keep over this shit. So anyway, yeah, let me take a stretcher. Let me get over here to this thing. Let's see. Let me really quick. Jinx, thank you, Jinx. What's up, Jinx? In the chat, with all the known content, do you still believe that we will see the Isle of Face, or do you think that will be strictly a book thing? I'm still hopeful we will, because again, I think that like right now, it wouldn't make any sense if they just showed it. But if they set it up a little bit, which I think they can with a flashback from Bran or a conversation with Bran and Sam, that makes sense to me that they can do it, and it will make sense to anybody that obviously sees the end game. So I think it's possible. They may change it and they could do it differently, but something still has to be to the effect of the Night King's motives and magic's got to kill him. Some kind of magic to remove the dragon glass from his chest or whatever, because I don't think Valyrian Steel works. That's the idea. So I do think, again, with what they have currently, no, we wouldn't see an Isle of Faces. Maybe the Trident. We've heard Rhaegar's story, maybe somewhere in the Riverlands, but even Harrenhal, who knows? But they could do anything they wanted, really. But if they give us a little flashback, a little conversation with Bran and Sam, that's all we need, and then we can see the God's eye. We'll know exactly what it is as far as the show. Benjamin Nolan, what's up, Benjamin? Q&A from the regular chat here. Hey, dude, what's a plot point from season 8 you're most excited about seeing unfold? Thanks from your Australian fans. Very cool. I guess I don't know what time it is there. What is it, 11:30 at night, I believe? Or I'm sorry, in the morning? So good morning in Australia there, Benjamin. The most exciting plot point I am is to see, like I just said a minute ago, the Night King's true motives. Not that it's just like an evil dude wanting to kill everybody, but that he is a star. Oh, 2:50 p.m. Okay, so I'm off a little bit. So I guess it's a different part. But yeah, the Night King's true motive, the twist or whatever it is, that's what I want to know. I just want to know why now. There's so much book stuff to go through, and we got these endgame theories out there. We got the Dragon Raised by Wolves series, and we got a lot of book evidence to support it, and I'm really curious to see what's going on with him. Why now versus why not 2,000 years ago or 10 or whatever. So I'm really curious to see that big twist, because honestly, I'm worried about it, because the Shireen thing was the second big twist. Wasn't a big twist to me. You saw that pretty clearly that she was going to die. When Melisandre told her, she's got to come to Stannis' wife, you knew she was going to die. So it wasn't a twist to me. So I hope this third one's much more of a twist, like Hodor. Hodor was a big twist, something Hodor size. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. All right, yeah, let me rest my voice a second, and then let the dog out. And so give me a couple minutes, and let me see if I'm over here in the right place. So yeah, we'll come back and grab more questions from the chat. So give me a couple minutes, and I will be right back.
Cannot give you back your homes or restore your dead to life, but perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our king. I can give you justice. I cannot give you back your homes or restore your dead to life, but perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our King. Perhaps I can give you justice. In the name of our King. Perhaps I can give you justice.
Alrighty. Sorry about that. Riddick took a sweet damn time. We're back. Let's see here. Really quick want to say thank you really quick to Terry Smith. Thank you, Terry Smith, the newest Patreon. So thank you so much, Terry. Really appreciate it. Just saw the email come in there. Really appreciate you guys supporting the channel. And also want to say really quickly too, guys, follow me on Twitch. We stream on Twitch during the week just some games and stuff. But I think we're going to start our Twitch Tuesdays. And we'll be streaming. So we'll do this all through the season, right? We'll do it after the show, right after the show. Episode 6 will be a charity stream for St. Jude. And we'll continue to do that as well. And then we will be on Twitch on Tuesdays. So we're going to do Twitch Tuesdays and do another stream on Twitch. So follow me there. It's free. Just go over there. There's a link in every description of every video. Follow me there. Click the little heart and you'll get notified. And we'll go live on Twitch and do these kind of hangouts just like this. And then anytime we do other stuff, you'll be notified if you choose to be notified. So if you don't mind. And anyway, thank you everybody for stopping in tonight. We got 700 and something, I believe. I think I probably lost a few there when I went on a stretcher, but appreciate it. Let's see here. Let me refresh everything because this shit does not refresh anymore for some reason, like it's supposed to on Patreon for some reason. Let's see. No, I think it actually did. I think we got Craig Boom. Thank you, Craig, on Patreon. I saw ghosts behind Jorah when they were standing on the wall waiting for the army to show up. The wolf pack is coming. I didn't see ghosts. I see a lot of people thought they saw like paws or going by like wolf, like ghosts, or maybe a Nymeria wolf pack going by with the horses. I couldn't see it. Maybe it's in there, but I didn't see ghosts. I don't know, but we are going to see them in season 8. They did say we'll see a lot of ghosts. One of the production people said that. So anyway. We'll definitely see ghosts, and I hope we see the whole damn crew. I want to see Nymeria and the whole wolf pack killing whites, but you know what? If they do that, they can't survive it. It's just too damn many. Excuse me. Let's see. We got Peter Dinklage in the house, everybody. The real Peter Dinklage is here on YouTube, hanging out on SmokeScreen. Peter Dinklage, what if the Night King brings back everyone who died? Well, that's the key. He will. That's the problem. They're going to have to try to figure out a way to burn people as they kill them. I mean, they can't bring back the ones they stabbed with dragonglass, I guess, but they're going to have to figure out a way to burn people, and they're going to have to see their comrades fall and try to light them on fire somehow. I don't see how they're going to do it. That's what I mean. It's just overwhelming odds. Hello, Perfect Burrito. Love the name, Perfect Burrito. I have not had a perfect burrito in a while. I've had garbage Taco Bell burritos. Anyway, let's see here. I saw Jason Clutchy. Thank you, Jason, for the super chat. After Sansa and company find out about RLJ, she'll quash the beef by telling Jon Ned died protecting the rightful king, igniting his sorrow. What do you think? Yeah, I think that's certainly a possibility. He will be mad for a while at Ned. He'll be like, why'd he lie to me? Was he really going to tell me the truth about my mother? He did promise him to talk to him the next time. Of course, there was no next time. So he'll definitely be mad about it for a while, but that makes a lot of sense, that he's going to realize and somebody's going to say that. And Sansa will be perfect for that as well, and Arya, even Dany when she finds out the story, that he did it to protect you, but it makes more sense coming from Sansa. So I agree. I think that would work really well. The Lady Eternal, thank you, Lady Eternal, for the super chat as well. Q&A, Preston theorized that Mance hired Catspaw. Wildling's mercy killed the disabled and framing the Lannisters to stabilize the house so they can't stop him coming over the wall. Thoughts? No, well, I don't know about this theory, but no, it's pretty much confirmed that Joffrey did it in the books. That's why he said at the wedding, "I am no stranger to Valyrian steel," and he actually was. He stole it from Robert's collection and had hired it to impress his father. That was the idea. So that's pretty much confirmed. I have not heard this theory about Mance doing that stuff. I mean, that makes sense about destabilizing things or whatever, But I think they were going to come over one way or the other anyway, whether it was just climbing the wall on one end or whatever. So I think that's pretty much confirmed. I don't like the idea. It goes against what you actually read, is what I'm saying. Let's see. Slope, thank you, Slope, for the super chat as well. On a side note, have you ever heard of the book series The First Law by Joe Abercrombie? Yes, I have. I have this book series, Slope, sitting right in here on the shelf. You can't see it. It's behind me on the other side of that wall. But I have that book series that I promised the guy who sent it I'm going to read it one day. I got to read that and Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn and all that stuff. I got so much to do. But I'll be able to relax a little bit after season 8 and take some time to do some other things and learn some other things that maybe we can talk about here on the channel. I don't know, but yes, I have heard of this, Slope. So thank you, Slope, man. I promise you, it's sitting up on my shelf with other books. I'm going to read it. Right now, actually, I started using the audiobook when I'm driving around and stuff, listening to the Witcher series. With this show coming on Netflix, I want to know. I mean, I played the games, but I don't know much more in detail about The Witcher than what the games provided. So anyway, going to read them. A lot of stuff to read, and I've been working on a book project I told you guys about. I'll give you more details here very soon, but that's going to be coming before the season. So me along with a few of the YouTubers you guys probably enjoy, are on a collaboration project for a book, and it's pretty much being done right now. So I'll give you more details when I find out. Thank you, Slope, again for the other super chat just came in. Appreciate it, man. On another side note, how is your book coming along? Same thing. I had to kind of put it on hold. I'm 6 chapters in, so it's still coming. But I had to put it on hold to get this book chapter done for this other project that was like a rush before season 8. So it's coming along. I am writing a book. Patreons have access right now to the prologue because I want feedback. I want as much feedback as possible. So, by the way, for you Patreons, I haven't got a lot of feedback. That post is up there. The prologue is available. If you are interested in reading it and giving me honest feedback on how it reads and how it flows, and does it make you want more, how it's described, does it read well, all that good stuff, the good, the bad, the ugly. Definitely want that feedback. So that is available on Patreon, the whole entire prologue. Now that I had some names corrected and all that stuff. Had to get it cleaned up for a while. Excuse me. Let's see here. All right. Where are we at? Let me refresh this. I don't know it looks like I'm frozen there. Are we good? Are we still good? I think we are. I don't see any issues. This web page just hangs. I sit there and spin with the spinning donut, and I don't know if I'm live sometimes. All right, so let's see. Karen W., who do you think is chasing Arya? Did Sansa try to help save Arya and was killed? Did she turn into a white? Is Arya helping others through the crypts? I think it's certainly possible. I like the idea that Herb brought up earlier that it's damn Gendry. But, she's not going to be... And the idea is that she's not afraid of what the thing. She's just overwhelmed. And she's obviously got some injuries, or maybe it's their blood or whatever. But it would freak her out. Excuse me. It would freak her out if somebody she knows and loves turned to a white and is chasing her and she's forced to stab him. So Sansa or Gendry or anybody she knows will be crazy. Old Nan's, I think she's long gone, perfect burrito. I don't know. They didn't mention that, but they're, she died in real life, I believe. So I believe they just kind of made you assume that she died naturally or was killed when Theon took over or whatever. So yeah, I don't think they would go that route for sure. Let's see. Alex Montero, what's up, Alex? Q&A, what's up, Chris? Do you think that Edmure and the Tully and River Run could be like a fallback spot for everyone up north? We actually said that early on, Alex. Exactly what we said earlier when somebody asked previously about Edmure Tully. He is listed on episode 1. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, though, because they do sometimes just list out everybody. But he is listed. It would make sense, at least whether he comes up to Winterfell, or that's what I said earlier, if they have to fall back, which they will have to escape through the crypts and get the hell out of there. River Run makes sense as they kind of keep going back further and further south, at least to bring him back and close that down. plot hole that's just outstanding right now. So they need to definitely do that. Let's see. Excuse me. He's too powerful. Question in the chat here. Q&A. All the trailers and teasers so far have focused on the crypts and catacombs. Do you think they're going to have significant importance this season, more than just an escape route? I really don't, other than the fact that that's where John, maybe finds out about his heritage. For damn sure, he goes down there and talks to Ned in some way, like speaks to him and looks at Lyanna's statue and like has this, private conversation with the dead. So other than his parentage and then, finding an escape route probably to Wintertown or something, or even further south, who knows, is probably the extent of the whole crypts thing. I've never been into the idea that there could be a magical thing there. Don't get me wrong. There could be magic that protects the crypts, like Bloodraven's Cave, that's not yet broken, or maybe since Bran's in Winterfell, it's broken now. I don't know. But other than that, I don't think there's going to be like Kings of Winter rising up from the dead. I just don't think there's anything left, book or show, actually. There's just, they literally tell you that these bronze swords or iron swords have rusted away and they're gone. So if that's gone, all the bones are damn sure dust. So you'd have to have literally dust coming back together to form some kind of skeleton thing. So anyway, Brent Carlson, thank you, Brent. Q&A, do we get a literal Nisa Nisa montage in a moment in the show? And more importantly, do we get zombie Littlefinger after Arya? We won't get a literal Nisa Nisa. Dan, I've said this many, many times here, at least in my opinion, is that Lyanna was Nisa Nisa, and Rhaegar was the Azor Ahai or whatever figure, and Jon is the metaphorical Lightbringer. So I don't buy literal flaming swords. It doesn't make sense unless, again, I will say, I've left it open for a possibility because I don't think that Valyrian steel or even Dragonglass will kill or hurt the Night King because he's got a piece in his chest. So if that leaves open for a special weapon, sure, maybe. But I don't buy the idea of a literal flaming sword because otherwise, other than that one scenario, what's the point of it? Like, what can it do that Valyrian steel cannot already do? Misha, thank you for the super chat. Chris, can you please answer Kyle's question? Yeah, sure. I don't see Kyle's. Can somebody grab it and maybe paste it there? I'm sorry. You talking about K-Dubs or this one from Ezio, I believe, the K-Dubs grabbed? I'll read this while we're clarifying it, but thank you, Misha. From Ezio, thank you, K-Dubs, for grabbing this. From Ezio Auditor, Night King wasn't in the trailer. Do you think he can send his minions to attack Winterfell while he flies to take care of other business? Maybe Jon and Dany use dragons to chase him. I think he absolutely can. I don't see why he wouldn't, actually. He don't care about Winterfell. He does not give a shit about Winterfell. He don't want Winterfell. I don't buy that he comes down there saying, look, I'm a Stark. This is my castle. I was here first. I was Brandon the Builder's brother, or whatever it may be. He's going beyond that. He's going south. I believe it's the God's Eye Isle of Faces, but regardless how they do it in the show, he is wanting that curse broken, however that's got to be done. And while he's at it, he wants some vengeance on all the children and his creators or whatever. And he's, so I don't buy that he wants Winterfell in any way. So I think it's absolutely feasible for him to just send in the army of the dead on the ground, and then he flies over them, and they're like, where's he going? And that's when Dany maybe jumps on Drogon and goes after him or something to try to stop him. But I think, like I said earlier, that Jon would stay at Winterfell. He's going to lead that battle. Now, again, he'll end up saying, let's go, let's get out of here. We got to go, fall back, get to the crypts, whatever. So hopefully they'll find that passageway before this battle. Rhaegar Ruby, Q&A, pretty sure Sean Beam said he'd be back because someone had to tell Jon who his mother is. Does that happen? No, he can't be back. I mean, you would have to have a flashback. The only way you'd see Sean Beam would be a flashback. That's the only way, and I haven't heard. I've tried to stay away from it, but I think would probably have heard if Sean Beam was in Belfast or wherever filming this year. So he can't be back unless you're talking about a flashback, which will be a recent Ned. So I don't know if they would need a flashback for that because Bran or Jon or whatever, unless they're just remembering a time or a conversation, they remember it, so you don't need Bran to go in the past to verify something. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe that don't make sense. So I don't think so. I think he's gone. You bring him back, it cheapens it. You know what I mean? In my opinion. Let's see. Careful, Purple Burrito. Nightbot will get you for caps and too many emojis. A little different on Twitch. We have custom emojis, little sun drop cans. Let's see. Let me click over here to the right page so I can see what's happening here. The Knight's Douche. Thank you, Knight's Douche. How can you see them losing the battle for Winterfell but still living? If they hide in the crypts, there's an army of the dead. How can you retreat from your last stand? The bunk bed remembers. Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, I think that that's the thing. You're going to have people holding them off while this one group gets the hell out of Dodge and comes up to another area, maybe Wintertown or whatever. I don't know exactly where the crypts are going to come out. I would imagine it's like Wintertown, and maybe they have a backup plan and horses ready to roll. I don't know, but somebody's going to have to hold them off. I mean, if you believe that Bran and Mira got away with Mira pulling a fucking sled with Bran on it through the snow while Hodor literally held the door from all those whites, then you got to be able to buy into the idea that there's soldiers out there stopping them and holding them back while people escape through some secret tunnel system. You know what I mean? So I think it's just kind of like, yeah, it seems unfeasible. But if they don't know about the crypts and they can shut off the crypts and hold them back from getting in them for a while, that gives them some time. And the whites wouldn't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have any clue. Excuse me. Maria K. Thank you, Maria K. Q&A. Do you think the cave drawings in Season 7 will have a payoff in Season 8? Will we see the Children of the Forest make peace with the Night King? I don't know if we'll see them make peace as far as like a pact. I mean, I do think we'll find out there was a pact in some way because they didn't beat them. But we just didn't get enough information in the show about the first long night. We should in Season 8, though. But I do think the cave drawings have significance in the idea that I don't think necessarily each individual symbol has a meaning you can break down and say, okay, this means this or this means that. But the one where Dany and Jon, where they had the zoom out little thing and it was the big one, that to me represents the Isle of Faces. The big circular one with all the dots, and then you got the spiral pattern in there as well. I think that's the Isle of Faces. And that's what I mean. If Bran can look back and see that being drawn or something, or see that symbol and then say, oh, what does that mean? Let me go back and see. Then they can explain the Isle of Faces through a flashback in about 2 minutes. And then it would make sense when we see them go there. So I think that's the significance we'll see. I think the idea there, though, in general, was just to connect for Dany. This is all real. They fall on the same side. The story tells the story of the first long night in some kind of symbolic form, and then you see the men and children working together. So we may actually see that happen as far as a Bran flashback. Let's see. Operation Nobo, thank you, man. Q&A, what do you think? What is Jack and Hagar going to do, and what do you think who will show up in the season? I don't. Operation Nobo, I don't think Jaqen will be in Season 8. I don't think there's any point in it. I think they're done with Bravos and the Faceless Men. I know people have issues with that, and I kind of do as well, but not so much. It's not a big deal to me because it was literally just the whole Arya, to me, the Arya storyline of going over there was a literal manifestation of her identity crisis that she's always had since she was young. So now that I think that was pretty much a final scene. You know, when she walked away from Jaqen, and he said, you know, finally you're no one, a girl is no one, and she said, I'm Arya Stark, I'm going home. She's like, he was like smiling, like, okay, cool. I don't believe in the idea that they're going to chase her down and kill her for leaving the Faceless Men. He gave her the tools she needed, and he won't care what she uses it for. And of course, in the books, he's got a whole different storyline anyway. So he's interested in he's at the Citadel right now. Let's see, Muhammad M. They mentioned the Golden Company has 20K soldiers, horses, and elephants. Yeah, I hope we get to see some elephants. That would be very cool. I did a little thing for Boston University, their virtual Season 8, which is there's 6 episodes on the channel now. You can look those up. They're pretty entertaining for what they are. I mean, they did a really good job. It was a class where the students wrote an entire script for each episode. They filmed it and live streamed it. I kind of did a little modified version of it with some screenshots, but actors and everything on stage reading all these things, and they had elephants in their version, so it was really cool. Hopefully we'll see that. I don't know. They may not go that far if they're loading all their, but I'd imagine if they're loading all of them on boats and the full-fledged army, they might as well, if they use them for war. Let's see. Misha, did I answer the right question? Is that what you were talking about with Kyle's question? I didn't see another question from anybody but K-Dubs who had grabbed that one. I'm not sure if that's what you were talking about. Pamela Bassam, Q&A, do you think Jaime's fever dream, thank you, Pamela, by the way, do you think Jaime's fever dream and his flaming sword in Brienne Cersei mirrors the candle in the basement when Cersei blew up the sept? The thought just hit me. Please. Yeah, that's interesting. I hadn't thought about the candle. If you're talking about when he was trying to blow out the wildfire. I didn't think of it that so much as I did of Jaime serving Rhaegar's son, the true king. Because in that dream, he had Rhaegar come to him. Now, of course, you could pull from it that his light went out and he woke up, so he's going to die and Brienne lives. I think that probably happens. But the bigger thing for me was Rhaegar spoke to him in that dream and said, "You didn't protect your king." And of course, in the context of what the story, that the king now is Jon Snow, as far as Aegon Targaryen. So that's my interpretation of that dream in general, is that he will now go back and serve his true king Jon, and it will kind of pay off that scene when he shook his hand in season 1, kind of making fun of him, because Jaime now is essentially in the Night's Watch. He was making fun of Jon for going to the Night's Watch, making fun of it, saying, it's going to be for life. It's this elite force, and it's not anymore. But now, everybody's in the Night's Watch. So I think that's what it's about. Let's see. Kors, thank you, Kors, for the super chat. Do you think we'll see ice spiders in season 8? I hope so. Damn it. I mean, that would be cool, but they just hadn't mentioned them. Since Old Nan. But that would be really cool to have a little throwback, a little shout out to Old Nan in the books, and have ice spiders as big as hounds. I don't know. I'm just going to bet they don't, because we didn't see them in any other time. We've seen a polar bear. They did their fucking polar bear they tried to do for 4 years, which was dumb, in my opinion. But we've seen a few giants. I don't think, if they're going to do it, if they wasted money on the polar bear, I just don't know if they'll do ice spiders as big as hounds. I would think it'd be cool. But you would have think we'd have saw some last year. We've seen plenty now of the Night King and the Army of the Dead, and we have yet to see him. And now if you saw him all of a sudden now in season 8, it's like, where in the hell did they come from? But there should be all kinds of animals with them. Should be all kinds of dire wolves and everything else with them. But they're just not doing animals besides maybe they'll. But besides the living direwolves, so that I doubt it. And well, they're horses. They are riding undead horses, I guess. But other than that, Shannon Thompson, thank you for the super chat as well. Are we getting the Tower of Joy and Starfall secrets? We know House Dane holds key secrets, and we want them. We're not in the show. We're not going to get anything about. This is all my opinion, of course. I don't think we're getting anything about the Tower. As far as House Dane or Dawn. I think the idea for the Tower of Joy in the show was that, in the show at least, the Dawn was the bleeding star. That was the bleeding star that Ned laid right there at the end of the bed. They put the camera on it. It's all bloody, therefore it's a bleeding star because it's made from a fallen star. House Dane in the show is our red herring. House Dane is basically, the idea with Ashara is that was Ned's true love. They were in love and he was but he chose duty. I think that's Ned's backstory. So if House Dane is not in the show, then it's really not that important to, let's say, the end game of the show. So as much as they should have included a couple things like that, they just didn't, and you have to take that as a sign of it's just not that it's something they could cut out, is what I'm saying. So yeah, I don't think we'll get much on Starfall or anything like that. Tower of Joy, I don't think there's anything else there, honestly. I think we heard the conversation last year where she actually said Aegon Targaryen, and I believe that's the extent of it. So at least the show. The books will they may incorporate Dawn a little bit more or something, but I doubt it. Yeah, Shannon, it's just so sad. Well, it is, but they, I just accept the show for what it is. I accept the show for that they have to cut out a lot of stuff. There's just no way. There's too much stuff in the books. It's confusing enough when. Remember when you're first, if anybody was a show watcher first, you remember you couldn't remember who the hell people were, even just the show version. Misha, I just said, did you answer my question? Yeah, I did, and I grabbed the one that Kyle grabbed. So yes, if that's the one you're talking about, I did answer that question. I just saw you say, please answer Kyle's question. But K-Dubs had somebody else's question, so I'm assuming that's what you meant. So I did answer that. So hopefully that's what you meant. Let's see. Thank you. I think I said this. I might have said this earlier. Thank you, Ghost, for subscribing. Appreciate it. Yeah, everybody, if you don't mind, please subscribe. If you're not logged in, if you don't mind, click and subscribe. It's quick, easy, and free. Of course, we're trying to hit the 100K thing this season. We may get there. I don't know. We may get there. We're moving pretty good, but we're going to keep streaming like this. We do this every Sunday at 10:30, and we'll do it after the show during the season, and they're a lot of fun. So, but yeah, Misha, I hope that's the right one. I hope I didn't miss a particular question. I'm sorry if I did, but let me know. K-Dubs, was that it? I haven't refreshed K-Dubs. I'm trying to refresh Patreon. It's not refreshing like it usually does, and y'all are replying to each other, and it doesn't show those, so I have to try to quick reload. So I'm trying to find it, K-Dubs. I don't know where your other question is. Let me look. I don't see it though, K-Dubs, unless it was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry, Misha. Okay, so you were telling me that I did. Okay, thank you, Misha. I'm sorry. It was just the way it was worded, I guess. I'm sorry. K-Dubs, I don't see the other question, man. I don't. They're all under the replies, I guess. I just see like. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe this one. I forgot to say good evening, fellas. Thank you for consistently hosting this live stream. This is one of the highlights of my week. I saw a video earlier in which Charlie said exactly what I was thinking about the part of the trailer. They like it removed a lot from the trailer. It's not to give away too much. I think the part where Sansa's seeing the dragons, her watching Jon and Dany leave on their backs. What say you? Yeah. I think that's I don't necessarily know about that, but I mean that's a good possibility because it seems to be that's where they're coming from, Wintertown. But again, it's the way it's cut up too. It very well could be Jon walking out. But if you look at that scene, it's fairly overcast, and the one where Jon and Dany walk to the dragons, there's some sunshine. So it's really, I don't think it's the same scene. So anyway, but it could be. I mean, it could be. It could work either way. Amanda Gamez, thank you, Amanda. Q&A, if the White Walkers cannot swim, how did they retrieve the fallen dragon when the frozen lake? Yeah, they didn't. They had scuba divers. I don't know. It didn't make a lot of sense. We railed on that a little bit last year, and I hated it. You know, that was one of the worst things they've done. But it is what it is. They had to get the dragon. I just said, why didn't they have the dragon sink anyway? Just let him get, killed, slide on the ice and stop, and then they don't have to worry about the chains. But they decided to do that. I don't know. I don't get it. They can't swim. So they certainly didn't go down there and put chains around his neck. But you just have to deal with it. We can't do anything about it, as much as I hated it. Cores, thank you, Cores, for the super chat again. Will Jon wear his father's armor? I'm sorry, that's Mo's. Okay, hold on, Mo. I got yours too at the same time. And thank you, Hilde Johansson, I'm sorry, for subscribing. Appreciate it. Cores, do you think Dario Naharis will return in season 8? I don't. I think Dario's done. I don't think. I think you just have to assume he's just doing what he's supposed to do and just helping serve Dany and Marine. I don't think he shows up with the Golden Company or anything. They've already combined too many sellsword companies in the show. For example, you had the Stormcrows in the books, and they combined them, made everybody the one sword company. Second Sons in the show. So I don't think you'll see him ride over the Golden Company or join them or something like that. It would be kind of cool. It would be kind of cool to see him come back and see if he would actually fight against Danny. But I don't think so. I think they're done with Dario. Let's see. Mo Castillo, thank you, Mo. Appreciate the super chats. Will Jon wear his father's armor? Valyrian steel. There's no real... Here's the thing, though. His father's armor, we don't know what happened to it. I mean, we're assuming he was burned, is what happened to Rhaegar. So I don't think he's going to wear Rhaegar's armor. I think he's always going to wear Stark stuff, you know. But Valyrian steel, if you're talking about a Valyrian steel armor set, that's a Euron thing, and and remember, in the books, that's a vision. So we don't even know if there is a Valyrian steel armor suit of armor. There may be. Euron may have one, but remember, Damphair saw that in a vision when he's high. You know what I'm saying? So he's chained up in the bottom of the Silence. So we don't really know if that exists or not, but it could. So I don't think Rhaegar, he would wear anything of Rhaegar's. He will eventually accept he's his father, or he's his, he's his son, but he's never going to go by Aegon Targaryen and be that whole thing. So, good night, Slope. Have a good one, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping by. Let's see. CC, the Night King wouldn't care if the whites were left in the lake after taking the chains down. Yeah, that's true, but it's just like, I mean, you have to buy the idea that they jumped in water, which they purposely avoid in every other scene. Not that it like melts them or something, you know what I'm saying? But like at Hardhome, they were in the edge of the water. That's as far as they'd go. Maybe they jumped down in there, and some other ones pulled them up, and the ones just stay down there. That's sure. I guess you could say it that way, and it makes more sense. But the idea that those chains were there, those chains that the Navy uses on some little pier on a very small fishing lake or pond, is just ludicrous. So, I mean, I guess you could see it that way, where they jumped down with the chain, put it around its neck because they were commanded to, or warged, or however it works, and then they just kind of floated around, and they didn't care because the other ones just started pulling. So, yeah, that makes sense. That's what you got to kind of assume has to happen. So, yeah, I mean, it does make it a little better if you think about it that way, I guess. Let's see. Thank you, GBMTV, Ian Gibson, for subscribing. Appreciate it. Matty Bentz, Q&A, Chris, Jon must be about to ride Rhaegal. He isn't even wearing a loincloth, so he must be about to go for a flight. Plus, the dragon looks so submissive there, warming up for it. I think so, too. I didn't actually notice the sword part, though. I didn't think about him not wearing a sword. You think he would always have that on him. That makes me wonder if that's after the whole damn thing's done. Because it's so, like, think about it. I mean, episode 1, you see Dany and Jon showing up to Winterfell, right? You see them, they're the Unsullied are marching. You see the boy in Wintertown watching from the roof, you know what I mean? But it's overcast, it's gray. And then in this shot with the dragons, it's sunny and gorgeous. So it makes me think almost, I'm not saying I necessarily believe it. It could be a different, maybe it's just another day and it's a little bit sunny. And it still could be sunny till the Night King gets there, even though winter is here. All last year it was drabby and snowing. So these sunny days make me think that it could be after the whole damn thing's over. I don't know. Assuming they both live and both dragons live. That's almost too good to be true, though. So maybe that's a little bit of wishful thinking, but just an idea. But if you don't have Longclaw, then he's not thinking there's not any immediate danger. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But I do think it makes sense for him to go ride the dragon, other than Dany. So that's got to happen for sure. Mandeep, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Thoughts on Boston U Season 8. What did you like? I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really well done project. There were definitely some problems with it, we did a review on live streams after that Sunday. So I put that episode out on Tuesdays, and then that Sunday we would review it in the first part of the live stream. So you can find some of those if you want to see specifics. But overall, I liked the whole thing was great. It was a lot of work, and I didn't agree with everything. And that was the whole point, was I was going to kind of review it like I would a regular show. But I think it was really good. I didn't like the ending. I didn't like how they did the Night King and Bran. And then like Jon being another, well, not Night King being Bran, but Jon being a separate Night King, literally becoming another Night King where they shove the dagger in his chest and he becomes a Night King style White Walker who kills the other one, and then he goes north and leaves forever. I don't like that whole idea about this unfinished, because he'll come back. It's implying that in 1,000 more years or whatever, after he loses himself or whatever and becomes like fully enraged White Walker mode, whatever that is, that he will come back. So I don't like the idea of there's this, the show goes off or the story ends and then it can happen again. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't break the wheel. Hello, Chris Roberts. How are you? Hello, Blue Whale. Haven't seen some of these names. I apologize. They were flying by tonight. Pretty good. Excuse me. Hoonjive, Dragon Trap, Night King, Sending Visions, Arya playing Game of Faces with Sansa. I'm going to start timing people out that complained that the episode they were just lashing out because they couldn't deal. What? Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of problems. But, overall, it was, it is what it is. You got to accept what it is. Otherwise, you'll just drive yourself crazy. Mr. Shoon's in the house. Mrs. Hoon, Q&A at Hardhome when the White Walkers showed up and the Wildings closed the gates. Night King instantly killed everyone on the wrong side of the gate and turned them. Why the battle now if he has that power? I agree. I've said this before. Did he send just instant cold down to make them instantly drop dead so he could instantly snap their fingers and raise them? It wasn't really clear how that happened. It was really odd, but they made it seem very OP, overpowered. So I had the same question. If he can just, basically bring in that mist, that super duper cold and instantly turn them, then what's the point of the whole entire battle? What was the point of Hardhome? There wasn't no point. So I don't think that's quite how it went down. I think that's just the way they portrayed it. Like they swept through and killed all the people, this whole entire rush of whites over the mountain, and then they ran up to the gates, and then as the others started rising behind them that they killed on the way, there was just so many is the way I took it that eventually they just came up to the gates as well. So it did look like an insta death though. So I agree. I was like, that's a little too OP, because if they're doing that, then you can't have these big long battles, because he can just come in there, snap his fingers, and everybody's dead and white. So I agree. I think it was just the way they kind of did it that made it just. You wanted to feel the idea was for you to feel overwhelmed, like you close the gates and people were trapped, and then all of a sudden they're not themselves anymore, type thing. I guess. I don't know. Let's see. What's up, Red Sweats? Hey, Bella DeBose. How are you? Eugene Smith, the fourth. I just want to see Jon in Targaryen armor. I think it would be cool for him to at least accept who he is, and I think he will. I just don't think he'll because he didn't grow up Targaryen. He'll never go by Aegon. If he does have to be king for a while or something, maybe on formal occasions people will call him that, but he'll always be Jon Snow. That he'll never. I don't think he'll ever be like. He'll accept who he is, but he'll never own up to it and be called, make it official type thing. Other than him having kids, I guess, because he will not have a bastard. So there's no telling what he would do about his kid. We'll see if he names it Stark or Targaryen. I guess it would have to be Targaryen because he's definitely going to have a kid. We'll see if he's alive to do it or not, though. Chris Roberts, James is on his way. He was out of town, so he was not going to make it. He was in the chat earlier, so I know he was driving trying to get here, but he couldn't get here in time, so he has not pulled up yet. We may hear him here in the next, we got about, 30 or so more minutes or so? We may hear him come in. I don't know. RT Sizzle, thank you, RT Sizzle, for the super chats. Appreciate it. What's the range and cooldown on the Night King's res abilities? Exactly. The cool. Think he can res the dead Starks and the Crypts from outside the walls? It's a good question. We said this before, kind of up north. People turn regardless. So you saw the two whites that came in through Castle Black. They came in just dead people, but the magic had already started. Started working its magic. It was magic-y. This magic-y stuff started working. And then they turn on the other side. So that's why they got through the wall, because there is magic in the wall, supposedly. But that happened without the Night King being around. So apparently anything that dies up there eventually turns. It just takes a little longer. Now, he does it with the raise of his arms or the snap of his fingers, or he farts or something, and then everybody gets up. But it does happen. So what I've been saying is, now if the wall's broken, he's coming around. I don't know what the area is, or if it's a certain vicinity, or he's got to be fairly close. I just think there's magic in general that does that. It's just because of him. So that starts leaking south now. He's coming in south, and now any graveyards or recently buried people will simply start climbing out of the ground. You know what I mean? So, or whatever. So I think that's certainly possible. Well, they probably couldn't actually make it out of the ground if they're just skeletons. But we've seen them. We've seen them at the Blood Raven's cave. They were planted there to keep people from getting in that cave. So that was a different twist. That was an interesting little revelation. So anyway, I think that's the way. The cooldown though, probably 60 seconds. It's got to be at least 60-second cooldown on that ability. I wonder where he's got his. He's probably got it on. I'd imagine probably. I don't know. Where would he have that? Where would he have that key bound? You know what I'm saying? Is that at 1 or F1? F5 maybe? I'm not sure. Excuse me. Karen W. Q&A. Cersei lost the baby, obviously. She has she just found out Jaime died, having lost everything is the wine poisoned. A twist on the prophecy. Jaime kills her without physically killing her. That's not a bad idea, I mean, I could see her going out like that, because she was going to do it before with Tommen. Remember Shade of the Evening? That was going to happen. So I've thought about that before, that she could end up doing that. She finds out that she's lost this kid. I don't know if she finds out Jaime dies or whatever, maybe. And then she just wants to end it all before she's killed or taken, or whatever, because she's not going to be taken alive, essentially, is the idea. So I think it's a good idea. I don't know how she would find out Jaime died, unless it was literally outside King's Landing. But it looks like she's just kind of chilling at night there in her regular nightgown. You know what I mean? So so there's nobody, she's not in any immediate danger, is what I'm saying. So I'm not sure how she would find out what Jaime died. If let's say he died at Winterfell, how she find that out? Nobody's there to send ravens. So maybe it's just the idea that he's gone. I don't know. But I think him already being gone and losing the baby may be enough to drive her completely mad. Let's see. Mander Deep Palmer again. Thank you. Thank you, Mander Deep. How would you write the ending and everything after Winterfell Battle in Season 8? Where do survivors go and end up? Oh, that's a long question. I'm sorry, that's a long answer. I don't know. In general, though, I would have, the Night King actually die, where there is no more cycle. But we do find out his motives, the main thing, and we find out what the first long night was about and how that happened and why he left. Because obviously he wasn't killed. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So make sure all that detail's in there, not holding anything back for prequels and all that stuff. And you would have to literally kill a lot of people to make it realistic and believable. And then you have to have a few survive. And then the main thing is, after all that, is hints of change. A dream of spring. Dany's not going to rule. She's going to turn it down or realize that's not her job, or she didn't want to, or she can, and she has people vote on. She calls a council. Or Jon calls a council, or both of them together, and they pick a ruler. So just little hints of change. I'm not saying like an overnight republic or democracy, but just hints of change and how the whole feudal system works. I think that's the idea anyway. Hinnock Sada, I believe it is. Do you think Jaime knew about the Red Wedding? I'm not really sure. In the books, it's interesting because he tells Roose Bolton something different, I believe, something about give Robb Stark my regards. And then Roose says Jaime Lannister sends his regards instead of Lannisters. So I don't think he did, because the other things go against it, right? Because Jaime didn't want to kill Ned. It was not clean. He didn't want to kill Ned that way. He got stabbed in the leg, obviously, from a different soldier. So yeah, I don't think he did. I think it's against his character. Even when he's an asshole, Jamie, when he's still asshole, Jamie, he still wants that clean death, and I still think he buys into the idea of an honorable fight, is what I'm saying. So I don't think he specifically knew about it. There's a couple things that make you think he might, but he seems to be surprised by it when him and Brienne hear about it in the book. So the guy actually has to tell the story to him. So I don't think he knew. Illamar, there's Illamar. Hello, my lovely. Dang, I'm so late. Been busy. Yeah. I feel you, Illamar. It's no problem. I'm glad you stopped by. Today for me was an unproductive day, but every other day I've been slam packed, busy as hell with all this stuff going at the same time. Yeah, there you go. Doc Holliday was a Star Wars reference. The New Republican got the circle is now complete. I read that in Darth Vader's voice, by the way, Doc Holliday, and as you knew I would. So, Asterix here, down here. Asterix. Still believe that Tyrion does not betray Dany. I do. I just don't think it's a betrayal. At least, again, it's the same thing I said before. I don't think it's a outright betrayal, as in I'm still going to work for my sister or my family. I mean, he'll definitely want to save Cersei's baby. And until he knows she's lost that baby, he may try to tell Dany, look, don't kill her. But I just think he would simply say, look, she's pregnant. When I talked to her, I found out she was pregnant, so she is reasonable. She would be reasonable. But of course, he wouldn't know that she lost a child and she's going to be completely unreasonable. So it could come off as a betrayal trying to protect somebody. Maybe she thinks he's lying, but he has no reason to. I just don't buy that whole idea of an outright betrayal. That's my general thoughts. There definitely could be something that happens that it looks like a betrayal. Maybe he does something stupid that he thinks is going to save a lot of people, ends up just killing a lot of people, but he didn't get any direction to do so. I just can't think of any direct betrayal, but there could be some other things that look like a betrayal. Thank you, Karen Morris, for subscribing. Appreciate it. Thank you, Thomas Curry, for subscribing. Appreciate that. Let's see. What are we at? 12, 40, 50? Let me double check Patreon here before we grab some more questions from the chat. Let's see here. I think we're caught up. Let's see. No, Terry Smith. Thank you, Terry Smith. Appreciate it. Let's see. The newest Patreon. I'm wondering if Davos becomes a white. Did anyone ever wonder if that was him walking slowly through a large room before it cuts to Jaime? I've been saying this, Terry. This is just my opinion and maybe a little wishful thinking. I think Davos makes it. I think he lives. I do. I think he just needs to live and go home. He just needs to go home to his wife. He has a wife and other kids. I want him to make it. Now, I'm not saying he will because it's Game of Thrones, and he says all the time, I'm not a fighter. So he's a commander, and he will fight if he has to, obviously, and he probably will. So it's a good chance he gets overrun and dies in this thing. But, so yeah, I mean, I think it's certainly a possibility. I'm just betting on Davos. I really am betting on Davos. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just want him to make it out of a few people, a handful. I want everybody to make it, but that can't happen. You know what I mean? Why are we doing the meows? I swear, damn it, I should have set up the meow music just to fuck with y'all. Meow. I should have. Oh hell, I got the dog barking. Jesus Christ. Sorry, buddy. It was just me. Let me refresh this. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. He heard the meow. It's just me, buddy. Sorry, Shannon Thompson. Nightbot will get you for a member of caps and too many emojis. All right, let me just check everything. Make sure I didn't miss anybody's super chats or anything. I just want to make sure. I've done that before. I didn't see it. It didn't pop in until after the stream was done. I felt horrible. And okay, I think we're good. Sorry, Cores. I'm sorry. These bastards in the chat, they just keep on meowing. And they're making fun of this old, I don't know, it was just old, royalty-free music I used to play whenever we start the stream or we'd go on break or whatever, and I guess that's what they're still doing. I don't know why they're meowing. These people are weird. Just kidding. Hello, a Game of Theories with Marie. Hello. How are you? Yeah, Riddick's mad. Chicken to jail. Riddick's mad. He's always mad. He's mad when I come here and shut the door. He's mad as hell. Thank you, Daniel Clevmon, I believe, for subscribing. Appreciate it, Daniel. Torch Snow, Q&A, do you think dragons are more beneficial to the living in the War for the Dawn, or are they the only way the Night King could get his army south and burn down castle to have something magic-y protecting them? I think they are, because here's the thing. The Night King getting through the wall should have been him touching the ground, or touching the wall. And this giant crack, happens, and it falls, like he did at the cave. That was a perfect setup, and I called it for 2 years before it happened. I said, there you go. That's how the wall's coming down right there. He's going to touch the ground. This giant ice crack goes up through the thing and breaks the wall, and it falls apart, whatever. At least enough space for them to get through. The dragon was the big shocker. So I think you have to, their thing is, what if you lose another one, and then you have 2 dragons to worry about. But if you don't use them, you have no shot at all, period. You're going to have to take that chance of dodging some ice spears, because Danny could have literally incinerated the whole damn crew beyond the wall, and she didn't. She could have, but if she just kept on flying around with 3 dragons and burning all those whites, it would have been over. But she rescued the people, of course, which of course she had to. But they did a lot of damage and got rid of a big chunk of whites, you know what I mean? And they can never be brought back. Once they explode like that, they're done. So yeah, I think you have to. It's a fair question, but you got to risk it. You know what I mean? You got to use your nuclear option when you have another nuclear option coming at you. Mutually assured destruction, I think, is the idea. Thank you, Bella DeBose, for subscribing. Appreciate it, Bella. Let's see. Perfect Burrito, you should do a fantasy reading group. I'd reread all those Jordan books that way. Wait a minute, Jordan books? You talking about Michael Jordan books? What? Because I have a lot of those too. Oh man, yeah, that'd be cool. It's just a matter of like the time again. Artsy girl, she didn't have to kill the whites, but she should have killed the White Walkers. Yeah, she should have, but then again, she didn't know. She don't know. She just said, Dracarys, burn all these things, burn all these people, and let me go down here and save, my love, Jon Snow and his friends. That was her immediate concern, and she didn't know like how they worked or to aim at those guys. Like now they know. Now they kind of know. You cut one down, the other ones fall. So now they know to go for the walkers. They even said that last year. So that should be part of their plan. We'll see. We'll see if they plan it that way, because the White Walkers just going to sit back on their horses and send in the whites. So they're going to stay out of danger. Because they're not going to be scared, but they know they can be killed now is what I'm saying. They know these people have... They know that there's at least one Valyrian steel sword, and they know Dragonglass is the thing now because they saw the people beyond the wall kill all their whites. And so they know they got weapons now. So they'll just sit back and send them in first. Maddie Bent says like and sub. Thank you, Maddie. Yes, appreciate it. Yes, like and sub, please. Would really help out. Let's see. Yes, Torch Snow, Arms Race God style. Yeah, I think that's his intent. The nuclear options, because dragons then again have been around for a long time, and they're not hurting anybody. Honestly, there's a couple of occasions they have, but I don't think even in the books when you had Drogon supposedly burn a kid, Dany even questions that herself in the book whether that was actually a child, the bones, or if it was a sheep or something. Because people, you know what I'm saying? So it's not even Dany herself in the books actually questions that when in Meereen, when they bring up the bones of that girl, and they kind of did it in the show. That's why she locked them up. So it goes back to the idea of mutually assured destruction. I think you have these potential nuclear bombs, and then of course the children did that stuff. And that's what I think threw off the seasons in the first place. Be careful, Bella. Nightbot gets you for too many emotes. That's all it is. Sorry about that. Lord Kev, there you are. Do you think dragons suffer from heartburn and reflux? I would imagine not. That's a good question, Kev. I don't know. No, they shouldn't, man. They don't. Fire does not burn them. They don't feel fire, obviously, and they roast everything before they eat it and eat it while it's on fire. So I'm guessing not. Cores, I appreciate the question. I don't want to. I'm not going to say that out loud because it could be a potential spoiler, and I don't want to do any spoilers. So, I would love to answer that. Would I give my thoughts on it? I just don't want to say anything because I'd have to give away what you're. So yeah, try not to do any spoilers here if you don't mind. I will take any speculation and whatever, but this year I've actually stayed away from even. I've seen a couple of those those shots, but I don't want any spoilers or whatever. I want to be complete surprise. We do mention some of that though. Val and I in the upcoming videos we're talking about where we do our collabs about we do predictions. Next set that we're editing now is Cersei and Tyrion, and we will talk about that actually in that video, or both of those videos. So those are being editing right now. I just don't want to do any spoilery stuff. It's not a huge one and it's not a big surprise, but it could be a potential. I think a lot of people want to go in completely spoiler free. So yeah, no spoilers. Let's see here. I think we're good there. Let me refresh Patreon really quick. And what I'm going to do is one more quick stretcher really quick, and then we'll come back and wrap it up and go another 20 minutes or so as usual. If you guys are still down to hang out, we still have, what do we got? I don't know. This says 7, that says 718, but I think it's more like 650 or something like that. So we still have people hanging out, and we are kind of I don't know how many people is in, we had the time change, so it's really 11:57 to me. So we can go another 20 or 30, if you guys are down. I'm guessing you are. Let me check this. I think we're good here. Yeah, Bert and Ernie. Gee, Bert. Yeah, we've heard the Night Stooge. Apparently we're Bert and Ernie. That's not true, but whatever floats your boat, man. Okay, I think we're good on Patreon. I don't see any new questions there. I'll refresh it again when I get back, though. So yeah, I think I'm caught up on everything. I want to make sure I missed any super chats. I think we're good. All right, so yeah. Is K-Dubs getting out of here? Good night, K-Dubs. Yeah, go finish grading your papers, man. I guess you're back to school. Well, no, you were on spring break the other week, wasn't you? I think high school was on spring. I don't know what's on spring break right now. Last week was college spring break, so you got to go back and to work. So, good night, K-Dubs, man. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, just give me a couple minutes. I'm gonna stand up and stretch really quick and grab a new drink, and I will be right back.
Cannot give you back your homes or restore your dead to life, but perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our King. perhaps I can give you justice. I cannot give you back your homes or restore your dead to life, but perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our King.
Stop this music. Stop it. Alrighty. There we go. We're back. Let's see. Alright. Alrighty. So, yeah, we'll go another 15 minutes or so. Let's see here. Let me check. This over here. And I think we're good there. I think so. Alright. Oh yeah, Patreon. We do have a new one. Mo Castillo, thank you, Mo. Appreciate it. Yo, just wanted to say thanks again for your time you give to the community. Thank you, man. Appreciate that, Mo. Yeah, and thank you guys. This was the whole idea. You know, I started this channel. Damn, April's going to be 4 years. That's crazy. And that was the idea, was to hang out and talk about shit that I would sit around with buddies talking about nerdy stuff after a movie or whatever. So, man, I really appreciate that. I'm glad I'm part of it. And that's all. I just joined a much larger community, so I really appreciate it. And yeah, Shane Grace, I feel you. It's almost over. It's like look, there's other great shows and certainly movies, but they'll never be. I just can't see there ever being another Game of Thrones. Nothing like it. I just can't see it. So it's sad. Anita, yes, you are one of the OGs. You've been here for 4 years. You sure have. A lot of OGs up in here, and I really appreciate every one of you. Really do. 4 years and 70,000 later. I never thought it could happen. It's crazy. Anyway, yeah, exactly, Elamar. I mean, it's fun hanging out and just talking and just having a conversation, and it's literally still crazy to me that there's people all over the world that watch this stream and others and this community. It's just crazy. It's so fun. Thank you, Zora. I appreciate every one of you. I really do. And you know what? A lot of people, and I love, my favorite thing ever is again, a lot of people, YouTubers I know, get these type of messages, it makes somebody's day a little bit better and whatever. And it really does for us too. It really does. So just not to get all mushy, but it really does. You know what I mean? Thank you, Meg Paul. You alright. She's saying, you alright, Chris. Thank you, Meg. You alright too, Meg. You good. I kind of like you, Meg. No, I'm kidding. No, but seriously, I really appreciate it. The Lady Eternal, thank you for the super chat. Have you read Good Omens by Gaiman Pratchett? And if so, will you be reviewing the Amazon adaptation of it coming in May? As always, love the channel and you guys. See you next week if I can't wait for season 8. And I can't wait for season 8. I have not read Good Omens. I have not. So it's coming to... See, I got so much stuff I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I don't want to get... Meg, you right. I don't want to get stuck forever in a box of TV stuff. I will always do the stuff I enjoy. Like, we'll definitely do the prequels. We'll probably touch on... we'll at least try to see how the Witcher series is. Because, if you guys hadn't played the Witcher games... or read those books, you will like that kind of stuff if you like Game of Thrones stuff. At least most of you would, I would assume. So we'll try to do that, but I'm not going to put myself in a box anymore after this season where like I got to do this show and I got to do 3 videos a week and I got to rush and do this review and get it out in 2 hours. I just can't continue to do that at some point, but I want to still have all these conversations and about other things too. So that's what I mean. That's what I'm thinking about doing, an actual podcast style thing on this channel for entertainment and stuff in general. So those things would be set up to where they're probably, they may be in a live stream setting. They may be live streams. Some of them may be actually live to where the editing's not anything that's going to take away from regular videos and stuff like that. So that's the idea. So I have a lot of stuff to go through and figure out what exactly I want to talk about. But I'm going to let you guys help shape that too. And Patreon people will help shape that too. There's a thread on there now like I was going to do. And I'll probably have time to do a couple. Because the season is creeping up real fast. They're starting to drop these trailers and teasers that you got to jump on. But, these certain questions, it could be certain topics or whatever. So Patreon will definitely help shape what happens in the future. But remember, we still have... it'll be just like any other season. Season 8 will end, and then we'll have a prequel 1 year later, just like usual. So we'll definitely keep doing that kind of stuff. But there's so much other stuff I want to do. There you go. Here you go, Terry T. What's in the box? So here comes Doc Holliday. I'm waiting on it. Thank you, Monkey Mel Dog. Let's keep this channel going. You pick the content. I'm all in. Yeah, but I want to keep doing something. Honestly, I see myself at some point doing a Joe Rogan style podcast thing. You know what I mean? That would be cool. I would really enjoy something like that. So we'll figure out something. I've already got this set up for a podcast. So I've put videos on iTunes and all that. That's all there. It's called SmokeScreen Radio. I could change the name of it or whatever. But it's ready to go. I just post whatever audio I want on my website, and it would upload automatically. So it's already ready for all these things. So we just need to, figure out what exactly it's going to be. But anyway, I do too, Strike Boo. I like Joe Rogan because he is a common sense guy. He loves all kinds of things, kind of like me. I'm into so much stuff, and he's open to all sides of things. And he just calls a spade a spade. That's just the way it is. So I enjoy his podcast for the most part. I listen to at least clips of it every day. When I'm sitting around at night and Riddick's eating his PB, stuff like that. But Yeah, I don't listen to every single one of them based off the guest or whatever. So yeah. But anyway, something like that, that would be cool to me, where we can talk about anything and everything. Maybe do a live stream style. If we did something like that where it's live stream, I would literally have to get somebody to come and actually produce it. And what I mean by that is have actual really good microphones, invest in those, different cameras that can be changed during the conversation. I'd want to do that and have maybe a place to go set that up that's not here, where I can have guests. That'd be kind of cool. So I'm trying to do stuff like that. That's kind of what I want to get into at some point, but that's going to take a lot of financial support for sure. Just to give you a heads up, me and Doc had talked about this. Just microphones. Those the best mics you can get for podcast style shit are $400 a piece. So yeah, it's not like you can kind of scrounge by for a while, but audio is everything in podcasting. Anyway, we'll figure it out though for sure. Thank you, Dominic Martino. Appreciate the dono through Streamlabs. How long do you see the season lasting in showtime? My guess is no more than 3 weeks, but 3 weeks, but that means no babies. Always a great show. In showtime, as far as actual time, they've said now it's unofficially official, like whatever that means. But the first 2 were supposed to be an hour, and the last 4, 80 minutes. So technically, that's just as long as season 7 with 7 episodes, if that's what you're talking about. But you're saying no more than 3 weeks, but it means no babies. I'm not, Dominic. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking me there about 3 weeks. I mean, about the showtime. So yeah, don't do another dono necessarily, but type in the chat and clarify that in case I've misinterpreted your question, and then a moderator can grab it. I'm sorry if I'm not reading that correctly, but thank you, Dominic. Let's see. Pamela is saying, Pamela Basham, I believe. I'm sorry, Pamela, I'm losing it. Here you go. SmokeScreen, try the podcast Haunted Places. That is amazing. That would be right up James' alley, actually. You know what I mean? James loves the haunted shit. If that's assuming that's what it's about. He's scared to death though, but he loves that type of shit. So that would be right up his alley. But yeah, I mean, that's why I enjoyed when we did the Side Effect podcast, because we did all kinds of topics. We went over all kinds of stuff, and every week it was different and other stuff besides just TV. Although it started as TV and entertainment stuff, but anyway, we'll figure it out. Proto podcast. Yeah, I don't know. It's already called SmokeScreen. I think I can change that name though for iTunes and all that. I think I can, because there's already stuff uploaded there from the regular Game of Thrones videos. Thank you, Emily Collier, I believe, or Collier, for subscribing. Appreciate it, Emily. Let's see. Scenaria missed Westeros timeline. I'm sorry. I guess you're responding to somebody else. Oh no, Rhaegar. I don't mean no. I mean video too. Yeah, I mean video on YouTube. There would be video on YouTube, I think. Maybe not at first. Like I said, I would have to get this. I want it to be done right though. I want it to be done right to where somebody else can control everything. We can have a conversation, and there's cameras and good mics and really good audio, all that stuff. But yeah, I'm going to look into that and see what we can do. Goddess Astrola, this is a good question. It addresses a bigger thing, kind of. What do you think of the theory that Dragonfire is literally nuclear, and that the curse of Harrenhal is not really a curse but nuclear fallout radiation? I don't really buy the idea that there's any modern day technological stuff going on. That kind of implies that there's I mean, you could have certainly natural radiation and stuff. I'm not saying that's not possible, but I mean it's certainly a possibility. But I don't think they would go. I just don't think in this story he would go that scientifically technical about Dragonfire. I just think it's a magical thing that burns hotter than other fire, and that's all we really know about it. So I don't really like the idea that it's some kind of that. like I want some things explained, right? I do, but I don't want everything explained, like everything scientifically explained. Like the M word in Star Wars. For you Star Wars fans, we didn't need to hear the M word. You know what I mean? We didn't need to hear the exact explanation of how the Force worked. It was just dumb. Let us just kind of imagine how that works. That's what I mean. Thank you, 2007 Fee, for subscribing, I believe. 2007 Fee? 2007 Fee. 2007 Fee. Am I saying that right? Thank you. 2007 PHE is what I'm trying to say. Karen W., do you think Arya is leading others through the crypts like Jaime and Brienne? Not in that scene. She's definitely running from something, someone, or a group of whites there. Maybe somebody she knows. She's too scared to be leading anybody. I'm not saying there's not people following her or whatever, but she's definitely running from something she's hiding from. There's just no question about it. And I don't think they cut that up separately, so I don't think she's leading anybody right there. I think she's getting the hell out of Dodge. Hinnock Seda, I believe. Thank you, Hinnock. Do you think that Bronn is still... I hope I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm name butchering. Do you think Bronn is still in King's Landing since Jaime's in Winterfell? Will he go there to help? I think he will go to Winterfell. I think he will. At least, I don't know if he'll... I'm sure he will make it. I'm sure he will follow Jaime is what I'm saying. He's not going to stay in King's Landing. Cersei will kill him. There's no reason for him to stay there. He cares too much for Jaime and Tyrion as friends now. He's not really that sellsword. It's just about gold anymore. He'll definitely go. We didn't see him in the trailer, but that don't mean he's not. You think I'm not really 100% sure, but Jaime yells out what sounds like Bronn, but we're not really sure. So I think he'll be in Winterfell for sure. Yeah, Hark, and I guess you're talking to Pamela there, but yeah, I agree. I think there will be some kind of epilogue style. I'm not saying it will be the whole hour. Well, that'll be 80 minutes. That last episode, Dan and Dave directs, it'll be 80 minutes. I'm guessing that the last half of that, maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that, will be an epilogue style. I mean, it could really do 5 or 10 minutes only. And do an epilogue style thing where you see it's a month later or a couple weeks or, I mean, hell, it could be years. I don't know. And we see that there's things have been changed and you hear about the throne being melted down or maybe you see it happen or whatever. So I definitely think you'll get the dream of spring, from the last episode. You don't have to do not anything to set up a sequel. But it would be kind of cool to, like, if, let's say the dragons all die. We've said this before. There's some scene where Dany or Tyrion or Jon or whatever find a clutch of dragon eggs or something, just to go off and give you a little sense that they could come back if they die or something. We've actually talked about that scene. There's Joy Props. Hello, Joy. I hadn't seen your name in here tonight, but then again, it's flying pretty fast. We've had a few more viewers tonight. We're getting back up to show level numbers here, except it was 5,000 or 6,000. So that's crazy when it gets that many people. You literally can't see the chat. It's just a blur. I just have to click and stop it. So I apologize if I missed a lot of people's names. I'm sure. Let's see. Let's see. What is it? 120. So. Let's get one more and we'll get out of here. Let me double check everything, make sure I'm not missing any super chats or Patreon questions either. Because it is 1:30. Everybody's goes back to school and work and all that good stuff. Lord Kev here on Patreon. Here we go. See, I'm glad I refreshed that, Lord Kev, because it's broken. Would be down to do a podcast with you and call it Queefcast. Of course. Yeah, we'll consider that, Kev. That'll be in my top 5 names. Definitely. Write that down, James. Anyway, thank you, man. All right, let me double check. What is this? Where's my super chats? Where's my chat? Oh, there we go. Here we go. Everything's filling in. Let's see. Marilyn Bentley. Thank you, Marilyn. As a longtime sub, I've said, yes, Marilyn is an OG here as well. She's been here from the get-go. Thank you, Marilyn. Appreciate it. As longtime sub, I've said it 100 times, but thanks for all you do. When God is over, how about some more cooking with Chris? Exactly. Also, do you believe this whole thing is being narrated by Sam? Yeah, definitely. You know, I enjoyed the vlog stuff. I really did enjoy those style videos. But it's just, you know, it's like there's so much. It's a vlog channel, it's a gaming channel, it's a main channel that gets me by, so I have to focus on that. So I would definitely want to do those Game of Thrones dishes and cooking with Chris style, making fun of cooking shows. Those are fun. I don't know why I started doing them. They're just fun. I just randomly did it one night, eating. But I would definitely be down to do something like that. And this channel is an entertainment channel. It's not supposed to be just a got channel. I know some people will not like that, but ultimately I got to be able to do that kind of other stuff. So I'll definitely want to do something like that. As far as the Sam thing, I don't think it will be in the sense of like he's telling the story as it happens. I think it will be fine at the end if we see Sam reading a book to say baby Sam as he's grown up some, or Danny and John's child or whatever. That would be cool if he reads the story because he wrote it, and he wrote a book about it, called it A Song of Ice and Fire, and told the tale of, you know, the great bastard Jon Snow who was really the king. That would be cool, but not like, I just wouldn't want to see it. I guess it would be the same thing as long as it actually happened. But I guess I just don't want to see it where we go over it, like the thing ends and the Night King gets killed and the world's saved, but a lot of people die, and then we see a transition. It fades into Sam reading like the last words of whatever, and you don't really know anything about how things changed other than Sam sitting there alive. You know, does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. So yes and no is what I mean. So yes and no. I think it'll be fine for him to tell the story of Song of Ice and Fire. I think that'll be great. But not like actually while it's happening, where that's the last thing we see. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's the same thing. I don't know if that makes sense what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. But yeah, I think that probably will happen. I mean, that probably will happen. It's not a bad idea when he said when he told the Maester, like, you know, that title needs some work. Basically, it needs to be a little more poetic. Of course, we all immediately thought about that. So I think it makes sense. And that would be kind of cool. And it would kind of echo a little bit of Old Nan. You know, Sam becomes kind of an old Nan style figure where he's older and wiser and knows all this stuff, and he's telling this story. That would be kind of cool. It would rhyme a little bit with season 1. So anyway, thank you, Marilyn. Appreciate it. One of the OGs here from 4 years ago, or damn near it. Let's see. Meg Paul, are you saying Dominic, he missed a super chat from you? I always copy and paste questions because I have to ask them a handful of times. Dominic, I missed a super chat? I'm going to look for it. No, you did a, Dominic, I did read, you had a donation to Streamlabs. I did answer that, but I needed some clarification on that. So what I was at, and by the way, thank you, Danny Hill, for subscribing just now. Yeah, so Dominic, you had asked, how long do you see the season lasting in Showtime? And my guess is no more than 3 weeks, but that means no babies. Oh, maybe you're asking like after the season, like how long in the future or the present, or whatever, after the story ends. I think that's what you're asking. Maybe that's what you mean. Is that what you mean? If that's what you mean, that's true. I mean, I would think you would probably see long enough to see a child, as far as like an epilogue. So the show goes off, they beat the Night King, whatever, it flashes over to the epilogue scene, whatever. I would guess at least a year, because you're going to see a baby. You're going to see confirmation that Dany was pregnant. You know what I mean? Because they've told us that a billion times. Yeah, I was too, Monkey Mail Dog. What I'm thinking, I think Dominic was asking, like in the show, how long of it, like how long will what amount of time will have passed when we see the epilogue part of it? You know what I mean? That's what I think I could be wrong, but I would say at least long enough to see a baby. He's saying he guesses no more than 3 weeks. I would guess a year or two. I don't know. Just even a year would be fine enough to see a child. Anyway, hopefully that answers your question, Dominic. So really quickly, please clarify that if I'm misunderstanding what you're asking. Knight's Douche Q&A. Lewin told Theon there were ways out of the castle, but when Bran came out of the crypts, it was in the courtyard. So crypts, hidden tunnels, or dead end down there. No, I think I think Bran, and he can run through the walls. Like, Bran knows all these passages, so there's going to be some escape routes, some ways around Winterfell, and I think that probably, I don't know if Bran knows the crypts necessarily, but there are other ways around Winterfell that Bran knows about, so they could bring that into the equation as well. I just don't know if they'll overdo it and have all these different secret passages, and I think it more or less will boil down to the crypts, into some secret passage to get out of there that comes out at Wintertown or something like that. But yeah, that's definitely a thing. And Bran, like in the books, especially book Bran, he knows all these secret little things, walking through the walls and shit. Excuse me. All right. Good night, Mo. Thank you for hanging out. All right. Let me refresh one more time. We'll get out of here. Let's see. Make sure Patreon is called up here, and hopefully, Dominic, I answered your donation question properly. All right, we're caught up there, and I think we're good on on super chats, I believe. All right, so we are good there, I think. But anyway. Yes, I'm about getting tired of sun drops, Lochmoor, honestly. I've been drinking a lot more water, but it sucks too. But anyway. All right. We're getting out of here. It's 1:30, so thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you hanging out. I'm trying to think. This week, Val and I are finishing our next prediction videos, so they should be coming fairly soon, but Val was working on her trailer breakdown. She's got another super duper long one, I'm sure, like she did last year, where she sluiced it all out. So she's got a lot to edit, I'm sure. So I know she's been busy as hell doing that. So that should come out. I'm not sure, maybe this week if she gets done with that one. I'm not sure how far along she was with the other one, but I got to finish that too. I was just kind of waiting on her with that. So Tyrion and Cersei should be coming out, predictions. Then we're going to do Jon and at least Jon and Dany before the season starts. So we're trying to get all this in, but by the time they'll probably drop another trailer. So of course I'll jump right on those anytime those come out, I'll jump on those immediately. There's Peter Griffin. Yes, it does. It does, Peter. Water sucks without sugar. It does. But I got to stop it, man. I've been, like I said, it's great that I've been sitting here 4 years able to do this, but I've also been sitting here for fucking 4 years, like literally sitting here. So I got to get my ass out of this house and get back into some kind of shape again. Like, I mean, I've been doing better, but I got to get back. I got to start playing ball again when it gets warm. Spring is now officially here. If it'll stop fucking raining, I can get out of this house a little bit. But I'll take a little break after season 8. It's going to be busy as hell for those 6 weeks. I mean, crazy, insane. And I'll take a couple weeks off or whatever after that, and then we'll come back and get this thing going. Monkey Mel Dog, God Academy, Gil will not on these videos. These are the Val and Chris predictions like we always have done. But we had they will be releasing the other ones too that we've done as well. So we had those two where we talked about Rhaegar, and then we talked about who would come whites. That's the two we did with Gil from God Academy. So we've all been working on this other stuff too. We're talking about the book stuff as well, the book project. Anyway, that's it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for all these subscriptions and super chats and donations through Streamlabs and all your questions in the regular chat as well. Really appreciate it, guys. Really appreciate you guys hanging out. And again, this week, we'll see what happens. I don't think they'll drop a trailer this soon, since they just did. We'll probably get one more at least. We'll probably get one more little trailer, but they're not going to give away a lot this year. They're not going to put anything out to make us give us any clue about how this thing ends. So anyway, we'll see what happens this week. But thank you guys so much. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Thank you all. Really appreciate it. So thanks for watching. And we'll see you guys next time.
give you back your homes or restore your dead to life, but perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our King. Perhaps I can give you justice.